And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 135. So I hope you guys have been having a great week so far, and I hope you guys are safe and productive. Also, since 2025 began not too long ago, I hope you guys are working on to keep up your New Year's resolution. I know I am. I've been putting out a lot of content, consistent, and in a short time frame as well. You know what? When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. The last thing I have to do is start going back to the gym. You know, I have not been going back to the gym for quite some time. So got to make sure.
You mispronounced starting the gym. You need to start hitting the gym.
I went back. I got my gym card because I lost it. And I was like, you know what? I probably should start going. I want to try and get a time to go because I used to go like 6 days a week. And then when the certain virus hit, it just kind of killed all my motivation for going. I was like buff and attractive and, you know, getting all the ladies. So
you say that in past tense.
Oh, I thought you were on my side.
That's why I said you say this in past tense. I mean,
my
like,
God.
You know, like, I mean, like I no son of mine is going to refer to him as just to being, I used to be.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So our featured guest tonight is problematic white guy. So as you guys know, I'm a problematic white guy. Gray's a can of mustard, and Cyfax is also a problematic black guy. So we all kind of mix together in this DEI agenda world.
Whenever I do this, I can identify as both now. Whenever I can just click back and forth. So now I can just do instant blackface. It's pretty interesting.
Like, holy crap, man. Shit.
So
we have some topics later on, but we're going to talk to problematic white guy for a good amount of time before we get to those. And before we do that, intros. So we'll start with Gray. How you doing, man? Are you alive currently, or are you dead inside?
Always dead inside. Currently alive, though. You know, good times. I'm here on a Tuesday. Wait, no, it's Wednesday. I'm glad it's not Tuesday.
Indeed.
It's weird to be around MSK on a Tuesday.
What do you mean?
You know, it's some inside lore. But yeah, man, happy to be here.
You left me on Martin Luther King Day. You left me on the Black Guy's Day.
Yeah, I figured in honor of, you know, the king, I should probably not be on your show. So that's what I told you in the DMs. I was like, nah, dude, I got to celebrate Martin Luther King Day. It would be wrong to show up on MSK show.
Not a single person celebrates Martin Luther King Day.
He was busy marching away from your stream. That's what he was doing.
It's true.
You know what's really crazy is like people always lie about that guy. So one of his famous quotes was like, judge the content of someone's character, not their skin. Mm-hmm. He would be appalled to live in this day and age when everyone is judging people based off their skin color. Like that, people think it's the opposite. It's like, no, he would not like what people are doing now. He'd blow his brains out.
2 years ago. It was just a few
years
ago.
Did you ever watch the Boondock Saints?
Yeah,
did you ever watch that episode of Boondock Saints where I think that it would be much like that. But the Martin Luther King one specifically, like, you know, where he comes back and like, you know, like he's like, you're all being a hope. And it was just it's such a beautiful piece of art, and it says a lot about the state of reality that we're living in. You know, so many people are embedded in the surface now, you know, like they're just kind of like, there's like these two mobbing factions, and it's like watching the Super Bowl that never ends, and it's just like nobody wins this game. It's terrible. 2025 kind of sucks. Kind of. I mean, for me, well, I mean, like on a personal level, you know, like my life is
the month started 2 weeks ago. The year just
I understand, but you know, like it was just my birthday last week. I'm 44 now, so you know, like
what? That makes you a DILF. What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's, you know, I am the middle-aged Giga Chad is one of the many things I've been called. I am possibly MSK's father. He might be my illegitimate son. Who knows?
Finally.
You know, I'm just saying, like we worked out the math, and you never know. I mean,
the illegitimate part sounds right.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know,
I need to get some love from you guys.
Hey,
That's
man,
crazy.
if MSK was one of my kids, I would have walked out a long time ago too. But you know,
yeah, perfectly understandable.
Indeed.
Good God, you guys are insane. Like, what do you guys think?
I went out for milk and cigarettes. So, and then he just
It's just like
Ask
look
me
at
to-
all your lineage, all your ancestors, and everything, and you're like, "Oh, they did all that to magically make it to this time and era, and that this is what you fucking produce, man. You should have ended it years ago." No.
What do I pay you guys here for? I give you guys a
Do you
contract to
pay
be.
them? Do you pay them? I mean, like, if that is the case, if you actually pay your panelists, then by all means sign me up.
He's like, I'll be on every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
When
gosh.
do you need my PayPal, or like how do we do this exactly?
PayPal? You get paid in cloud. You get paid in exposure. Remember that old saying?
You get paid by
paid in
getting
exposure.
blocked by like
so
other
this is just like
creators once you associate with them.
So this is just
you
like
know,
well, here's the thing about that. I am on Reality Based. I am the assistant manager of Reality Based with Ryan Roger Thay. So I know plenty about people like, kind of being like, oh well, so like this is our diversity outreach. Like I'm here, to prove that, like we are not a racist organization.
Speak for yourself.
You know a black guy now.
Yeah,
Oh, see?
not only do I know
There
a
you
black
go.
guy, I may have sired this black guy. Like
There you go.
I so I mean, I'll have to like get pictures of your mom to like verify, but like, and subtract like 30 years. But these things are, you never know.
All right. Cyfax, how was your week so far, man?
not too bad, not too bad. I mean, I had to update my clause for anytime I'm jumping onto streams to like there needs to be minimum one black guy on every show I'm on, so I had to give you that, and you signed it, which was great.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. Now tomorrow I'm going out to see what's it called, Flight Risk. I'm going to be hanging out with DA and T.
You're gonna hang out with a black guy. That's
two of
crazy.
them actually. Two
A
of
real
Two
them.
of
one.
them.
Alone.
They might rob
Alone.
you. What the hell?
I don't know. T might look like he can fight, but I think I could take DA.
DA's like 1,000 years old. I hope you can take him. He's like 58 or something like that.
It's all right. I'm just as tall as T. I'll be fine. No, but we're gonna hang out, have some drinks, and then go catch that movie, and then we're gonna do a stream afterwards. So other than that, just dealing with the day to day, man. Another day, another dollar, right?
Yeah, that was the saying in rap videos too. Another day, another dollar. That's how it works.
That's right. That's right.
Well, as you guys know, for myself, I've just been working on putting out all the content we've been doing on stream. I do have to edit that Melanie Mac video we did last night. Oh my goodness, that was just God. Talk about me being a chef MSK, just cooking a woman, just completely frying her and all her horrible opinions. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to just keep it 100, as the kids say. I gotta tell it like it is, as they say.
I'm not so worried about her horrible opinions. It's the blatant hypocrisy of it all.
Yeah,
that's kind of the thing that I don't know if you got into this, but she, of course, herself was part of the game industry for a number of years.
I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
And she used to be like a big proponent for gay, lesbian, trans community. So much to the point that I sit here and I now wonder, did she drink deeply from the Sapphic well, and now she's just got like notice me senpai energy? I swear it wasn't me, Jesus kind of vibe going on to anybody else, where it's like, like she's like, she reminds me kind of like one of those senators who like, spends all their time promoting like faith and values, and here's a picture of me with my family, and then they get caught like, blowing some dude into like a, highway rest stop, or at the airport. And I could be wrong on this, but there is just kind of like this, I think the lady does protest too much, kind of energy about the whole thing, which is weird. But, then there's now JDA that is happening. And if I were Melanie Mac, I would just disavow and throw his ass under the bus and be like, this is the witch right here. Just, let me go back to doing my thing, and I'll just shut the fuck up, which I should have done last week. And we can all just kind of laugh at this clown that is evidently into, furries and My Little Ponies. And
I'm just saying, man, that Lucario ass was looking kind of juicy, for being honest.
It kind of reminds me, I disavow anything that MSK says. He's a clown. Whatever else, John was saying right there. I haven't done my usual disavowments of MSK, but let it be stated. I disavow.
Disavow.
Yes. Disavow
and repent.
Just repent everything. So
that's right.
Yeah, that's
The only thing
kind of-
towards the Melanie Mac thing I got to say on any of that is I have seen what does seem like hypocrisy, like since she came around to like this side of the internet and whatever these spheres.
Mhm.
And most of the stuff, it's not. I don't find it that big of a deal. I think people are still blowing it, but it's blowing it out of proportion. But I do get it. If people want to rag on her, go for it. But it's like I just more than anything, I've never followed her or watched much of her stuff, just because I
Right.
found most of her takes to be pretty mundane and boring. So
Right. Well, I think
that's
the
how
issue.
women are. You gotta keep in mind that's women in general. You know,
Yeah,
she's
I-
only watched because she looks attractive. People aren't watching her
Right.
for her intelligence.
Right. I think the issue comes from, you know, her not even like, because like that video that she put out was like a 30 some odd minute meandering mess of just stream consciousness that
We watched
she needs
it.
someone in her life that she trusts that can say to her simply, you know, Melanie, in good faith, I beseech you, shut the fuck up. You know, and I say this out of loving care and compassion and kindness. Shut the fuck up. And if you're gonna put this thing out way too long, like cut this thing down. And she needs an editor or a producer or somebody who, you know, could do all these things. And, you know, just saying I actually do these things. So, you know, Melanie, you know, if you want to, like, you know, pay a problematic white guy to, you know, like be open and honest with you and help you kind of get your shit right, I am available through you know, Discord and X. You do not follow me, but you never know. You always could, and you know, shoot me up the DMs. I'm like right around your age. You know, I'm a little bit older, so I might have a little bit more discernment on these things. Maybe, just maybe, you know, out of the good faith and the loving kindness that I have, I can tell you to shut the fuck up from time to time, and maybe you'll actually listen. You know,
I'm just saying, when men kind of have a stranglehold on women, they kind of tend to act better. You know,
well, some women are into that. You know,
she has chokers on her neck.
the strangle, yeah, yeah, she likes the chokers. She wears them, so maybe that's what she just needs is like a good dicking down, and like, you know, like just, you know, like maybe she's in that asphyxiation game.
So
you know, it's
my big thing about it is if someone is involved in like religious practices and they're trying to tell you what you should be doing better, okay,
right.
It's one of those
Right.
things where, okay, you yourself are trying to get people to do something better while you yourself are not doing things better. And keep in mind, the reason why the Stellar Blade thing is the big thing that everyone's harping on is because Stellar Blade was actively being, let's say, censored by Sony or whatever. She was advocating for it to be uncensored like a lot of other people.
Right. And
So-
this was less than a year ago. So
Yeah, it's not even like, I can understand
Yeah,
maybe this was like 10 years ago. This is like something that happened, guys, literally last year, less than like 6 months ago. Many
Yeah,
tweets,
somewhere right around
videos.
there. Because I
Yeah.
think she was doing it when I was on my way up to Seattle. I was on the train, and I think I watched her actually do that video specifically when I was like going cross country. And so I think that was like March, to May, somewhere in that time frame. So yeah, like it was not that long ago, like less than a pregnancy ago. You know, in case I have any other illegitimate children out there.
Well, I don't have
I'm
sex
unaware.
with women because that's kind of gay, but you know, just depends on the day. You know,
Right.
it's just one of those things where now the opinions flipped. No, we have to make sure no like degeneracies in games, and it's like this is just that's the problem. Is if someone not just her, this is anyone where basically if someone has this hard on for an opinion of one thing and then they just kind of snap on the day. She just flipped on the day about that.
Yes.
And I can't trust anything you're going to say because I don't know what your actual positions are. I don't know what you're saying is true. I don't even know if you even believe the things you're saying is true.
Right. And I think that's really kind of the issue is like, you know, like, so there's the girl from like, you know, like 2018, all the way actually up till 2020 is when she started the new channel, right? It might even be a little bit after that. And so it's like the entire time that she was in the Hollywood game, basically, I think that she kind of thought she was going to be Olivia Munn, right? And when that didn't happen, you know, and she got bounced out of her job, I think that she's just kind of like, oh, well, I'm going to have to go slum it on YouTube. Well, but, you know, fuck these people because they kind of like, you know, threw her out on her ass and she just, you know, and so as sometimes women who are jaded, they get vengeful. And so it's like, oh, you think that, you know, like you're so good. I'm going to go fuck your like, you know, enemy, you know? And so like she turns it around and now she's like focused against all these people. And so it's like the vitriol, you know, it's like for someone who wants to, you know, conflate like, you know, their beliefs with religion and supposed good faith and values, she doesn't really seem to be all that forgiving, or really come from a place of love and kindness, as the wellspring of her emotion. Because like, all you have to do is look at the last 2 years of videos that she's put out, where she basically just rides one word phrase all the way to kind of being like a lol cow. Yeah, and so and that's kind of like the things. It's like, well, if you're gonna cast these aspersions on people, that doesn't really go in line with love the sinner, hate the sin. That's kind of it's very pointed language. And so when she now turns around and says, "And all you gooners are losers," and it's just like, whoa, lady, I think maybe forgiveness, maybe try some of that. Because
I'll say this as someone who's dated girls that kind of dress like that act like that, who had come from religious beliefs. Like even one of my exes was into she was a Mormon even, and it's
I know about Mormons.
None of them.
We call them Pringles cans because once they pop, they don't stop.
Exactly. But also the thing is none of them ever really practice what they preach. They'll sit there and they talk all moral high ground, and then all of a sudden those fucking doors close. And that's
my
Bible goes out the window, or whatever your book is goes way the fuck out the window.
My Mormon sister may or may not have been a truck stop hooker in her teenage years. I can neither confirm nor deny, but I'm just
Jackie.
saying.
No, I'm kidding.
That was not her name, but I will keep it. I will keep that part. Under anonymity. Well, could be. You never know. All I know is she got rides home from various dudes at weird times of the night.
Just to make sure the clutch was working in the car,
right? Right. I'm sure they were working the stick.
Yeah. Made sure it had to go forward and back a little bit,
Indeed.
Oh, just wanted to add to your point. In the Bible,
different meaning to releasing the clutch, but it's fine.
So in the Bible, it directly says you're supposed to pray for your enemies.
Right.
Literally directly says that. I don't think she's doing that.
No, she's praying upon her enemies, not so much praying for them.
Yeah, it's crazy. I used to be religious, so I know I read the Bible before, so I know all that bullshit that people will say. Because the thing is, if you're someone that is religious, either you believe in it or you don't. Because people have this argument of Old Testament, New Testament. It's all about. I mean, to be fair, people take a factor in its basis of time as well. It doesn't say to stone your enemies in the Old Testament or some shit like that. Pretty sure you're not doing that now, but. There's just
there's a lot of people. It says the
cultures.
Stones,
I grew up in it. I grew up in an era where people were religiously against talking about religion, but all of a sudden that shit came back.
I myself, I'm not necessarily religious. I do try to act in accordance to good faith because I believe that if you actually approach life in good faith, religion is silly hats, right? It's like the silly hat that sits upon the head of faith.
I mean, one of the main things about it, whether it's the 10 Commandments or the sins, there is good stuff in there that basically just sets the rules for hey, if you do these things, you're just a decent person in society. If you want to believe it gets you somewhere else, great. But there's good things in there. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, no, and that's
don't fucking do all of it,
Right, and that's why I try to approach things in good faith. Is because it's if you sit here and you get caught up on what the silly hat is, it's on somebody's head. Then you might not actually be able to, if you grip too tightly to your religion, you'll never be able to get a hold of your faith, which is kind of Melanie Mack is ultimately what I see as somebody who's just really just all about her religion, but she doesn't really understand faith. And so she ends up coming off like a Pharisee, would be the word that they use from the Bible, where she'll give you scripture and verse and do the thing. And I read the Bible and I have this channel for it and blah, 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 blah.
I'm the moral superiority. So
right.
You're a pleb and loser. I'm the God king over here. It's dude, no, people don't that's the reason why people don't get into religion is when people start doing stuff like that. That is the automatic turnoff for it. Because then that person's going to go, well, every Christian's like that. Because that's how average people think you're not that smart. We know the average person is stupid based off that certain virus mandate we used to have a few years ago. 6 feet apart, remember? Everyone remembers that.
Oh, believe me. COVID hell world has been a special, I used to work at a holistic naturopathic doctor's office. And so our whole thing was not so much vaccine, are the way to go. We don't believe in one-way solutions. The whole kind of concept behind holistic care is that say all of us had the same malady for whatever reason, right? but we're all very different, you know. And so because we're different, you know, we would have to either take different medicine, or if we took even the same kind of crossover stuff, we might have to take it in differing amounts, different times a day, all this kind of stuff, because that's what, you know, healthcare used to be, was this very custom, you know, kind of approach to, you know, to be a good doctor, you have to have patience. And by that, I don't mean people that you see. I mean, you actually have to sit with it and actually have to like kind of learn about like what it is that you're even dealing with. And that could be like a variety of factors that are going to play into it. And so, you know, when all that stuff went down, you know, 5-ish years ago, I was working at this doctor's office, and I've been there for, I think, roughly around 7 years or so at that point in time. And so, you know, I'm what we would call a wizard. You know, I actually, I dabble in the creation of potent solutions, or potions, if you will, healing potions specifically. And so like I kind of like try to approach that kind of concept of good faith in the same way, where it's like, you know, I know what works for me, but it might not be the thing that works for you. And like when you look at the Bible specifically, you know, that whole story of the crucifixion, there's like two guys right up there with Jesus, right? You got a murderer and a thief. First two guys that were allowed into heaven, murderer and a thief. So therein lies, you know, the clearing line. So you could be a murderer or a thief and still get into heaven. And so maybe that's where it's like, if you think that people like, you know, looking at like, you know, a nice ass from time to time is going to be the thing that like, you know, you just kind of casts them into the fire, never to be forgiven. Maybe, just maybe, you might actually have the sin of pride kind of like, you know, enveloping you, and can't actually see past your own delusions. So
my thing has always been, so I know a lot of people won't agree with this. It's fine. But I think a lot of guys out there that listen to the show need to understand this. Also, you know, you guys are definitely successful in your life in your own ways. Guys need to stop doing this. I shit on women a lot because women deserve to be shitted on. Oh my God, women are just so fucking stupid. But dudes always do this.
Is that the reason, though?
So I would say this.
Really? Is that the reason?
Because dudes will always do this. They'll be like porn. We'll use porn, for example. They'll be like, man, so I was addicted to porn, and it just like ruined my life so much where I couldn't do anything. It's like, when at some point in life do you go, hey, I can be better than this. I don't have to be addicted to this as much as I am right now. I need to make sure my life is better. Because at a certain point, when do guys go, you know what? I'm going to take control of my life and be better than this. Because that's the problem that people are having. Everyone just wants to blame something for why they failed, when in reality, that's a you problem. Yeah, porn exists. But there's also a lot of people that don't look at porn, watch porn. There's guys that don't, and they're doing completely fine. And there's guys doing completely fine while they're watching porn. See the conundrum there? People assume just because you don't watch porn, your life's going to be great. That could be also not true. And the opposite could be true as well. What I'm trying to get at is stop blaming something else for your own failures. You fucking suck because you're a fucking loser. Make your life better. Has nothing to do with anything else.
So as your possible dad, you should probably know this about me. Before working at the doctor's office. Right. So before working at the doctor's office, I actually worked at House of Ill Repute. I worked at like when I was going to art school, I worked at this really high-end, upscale, mother and daughter owned establishment down in the South in Savannah, Georgia. And like it was like in down in Savannah, they have novelty shops, right? So you have to sell like a certain amount of fake dog crap and silly dad joke books alongside
like Spencer's, but like
right. So yeah, you have to sell all this stuff, and then you can have like the videos, the lingerie, the glass pieces, the pipes and the other pipes. And
did you guys have the blowjob kit thing there? It was like it was a joke gift where
we had the joke gift, and then we actually had
pads and fucking cleaning gloves. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, like we had the joke gifts, and then we actually had the real stuff. Now, when I worked at the porn shop in Seattle, at that point in time, it was probably the oldest one in America, because all the ones in New York had been shut down by then. And it was on what was affectionately called back in the day it was on First Avenue. I worked at this place called Taboo Video, right? It used to be called Flesh Ave because, it was just kind of like, there used to be peep shows. There used to be all this kind of stuff. They shut down the peep shows about 3-4 weeks before I moved to Seattle, where like you actually did like the Nickelodeon, you drop the coin in or whatever. And like the door goes up and like you see the girl dancing behind the booth. One of the girls that I met that I knew who used to do that job, she would later become Carla Cush, who you may or may not have seen on Pornhub at some point in time. I'm not going to give you her actual name, but I knew her in reality. I actually lived with her for a few weeks. I worked at this house of ill repute, like total porn shop with like the theaters in the back and everything like that. And I can honestly say that, like we sit here and we talk about men's porn addictions, as a guy who sold these, devices and the videos and everything like that, women were by far the largest clientele of the toys, and men were the larger clientele of getting change and then just going to the booths in the back that God knows what happens in, and you don't want to even think about it. But
as long as doing his part, he's trying to get them out.
Right. Well, my whole thing that I would have to tell them is like, look, guys, I don't sell dildos in the back alley, so don't smoke crack in the store. There's a time and a place for everything.
Okay, whoa. Those are two different things. Both of those can be applied at multiple times during the day. Just depends on morning or the afternoon, right?
Right. Well, I was Seattle's premier late night boogeyman sex mechanic, you see. So for
I was a sex mechanic at one point too. See?
Right. Well, see, that's because my genes, right? So, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Case, it was he tried to build a robot for himself. It didn't work out so well.
Okay, I wasn't trying to build actual women. That, good Lord. Well, maybe she wouldn't be as retarded if I built her, but it's a different story for another day.
Well, we can all be aspirational. But yeah, so that's kind of some of my backstory. I've had some of the highest highs, some of the lowest lows. I like to think that I've learned a thing or two on this silly road of life, and that's why I said I try to just approach things in a matter of good faith and consciousness, rather than get too caught up in like the the how-tos and whys of some book that while it can apply to you uniquely and individually. If you go and try to say that there's this hardline way of doing things, then you kind of completely miss the point of it all. And that's ultimately what got the devil cast.
It's way easier to get laid out there, guys. Like, seriously, you either just need to pick up a guitar or have a really good cocaine connection. Either of these things work. Like,
or both. If you do both, then yeah. Yes. Yeah, you'd be like
also, I played guitar in Hollywood. No,
and I noticed you kind of rubbed your nose as you were saying that. So I see what you're doing there. It's a signal. It's a signal.
It was like 15 years ago. It's all good.
That's okay.
Yeah, like it's just kind of it always. I understand addiction. I understand all that stuff, but to not even be at a point in your life where you can acknowledge objective reality is just why people just are stupid. So just because you're addicted to something does not automatically mean you just fail at life and don't try to do anything, Like, what is that? So if I play video games, I don't know, 8 hours a day, does that automatically mean I'm not supposed to just go out and get a job? It's like, no, you can have your cake. You can have your cake and eat it too. I don't know why people don't understand that. You can play video games as much as you want, but as long as you take care of your literal life obligations, you're fine. And if anyone says otherwise, doesn't matter. As long as you're doing everything that society says is good as far as you're supposed to do as a man, you're fine, because
so
everyone's going to have a hobby of something.
What you're saying, but I don't know if you understand that statement. Like, you can't still have your cake after eating it. You can't have your cake.
Right. The only way to have your cake and eat it too is someone else's
cake. Who's going to eat this cake, though? That's the thing.
Well, are we talking about figurative cake now?
Okay, so if you're on woman cake, that's pretty easy to eat. You just got to just move your tongue in a circular motion and put it all the way in there. But I'd imagine you're probably eating your ass too.
I mean, that's more like that's more like pie,
Yeah, you're right, huh? Do you eat ass?
I do not. Not like religiously, certainly not like it's not like necessarily one of like the things I would say is what I'm known for.
It's not exactly my opening move,
Right. Hey, baby, I eat ass.
It has to be your opening move.
You're in the wrong spot immediately. Like, things are gonna go wrong. Like,
but I mean, I mean, like we've all done things, I'm sure,
what things have you done, sir?
Well, I sired your
talking about that Skittles incident you weren't wanting to tell us about. No.
I mean, I am allegedly your father,
Allegedly.
Or I guess I'm not so much your father because I wasn't there for you, so like I'm your sperm daddy. But there
One
is
of those
that.
like all the best parts ran down his mother's leg type of deal. Is that what happened?
I mean, I can
You
get
guys are
kind
insane.
of freaky, but like, hey, what landed?
So would
has
you be
sprouted.
like fisting? Would you dig a girl shit out of her ass?
I'm not
Why
really
is your
that big
immediate
into.
thought to
I'm not.
fist
I'm
somebody's
not really
ass?
that big into ass play, like one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's never been a thing that
How
really
many
kind of like.
strokes do you have? Like, if you stroked in a girl, how many strokes did you have? How long can you last?
I mean, like.
I mean, you do seem like the guy who would count it like the owl who licks the lollipops. 1, 2, and it's just like I don't.
No, I mean, I think that I'm good at foreplay, and I could eat a peach for hours, as the expression goes.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you like peaches?
I mean,
That's a great quote from that movie, by the way.
yeah. Con Air's a great movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I know how to please a woman.
It's easy. It's not hard.
Yeah, and I gotta tell
MSK
you, like.
he
like
often
I'm not.
brags about
Dude, you
his
know what's
prowess,
crazy?
too,
What's
MSK.
crazy is I can just show women MSK and be like, "Look, at least I'm not this fucking guy," and it's off to the races from there.
Yeah, they're running.
I mean,
they're running to their cars. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I used to have like the last girl that I was involved with. She would take 4 buses to come see me.
That's
So it was dickication is what it was, because I mean, like when a woman knocks on your door after she's gone like through like 2.5 hours and 4 buses to come see you, it's kind of like, oh well, like I have to lay this pipe right, like, and I have to do right because she spent all these hours on the bus coming to see me, so like it gives you like a level of expectation and confidence. So yeah, I mean. It's not like I necessarily keep a watch to track these things, but
sounds like you did. Yeah, allegedly.
But well, no, I'm just saying that
Somebody was saying they can see
I'm
the
not
resemblance.
clocking in.
Somebody was saying they can hear the resemblance. Is it that MSK also needs to take a bus to go see women? Is that the resemblance?
Hey, I did not take the bus to see the woman. You heard that backwards. I was at my apartment.
No, I heard you correctly, but MSK is the woman in this situation.
I'm just pointing out that if a guy goes to see a woman in that fashion, they're probably a stalker, and that girl should probably get a restraining order on that dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, if the situation were reversed, but when a woman comes like that, far to see you through that many things, like, it's like, that's just a compliment, right?
Well, you could stop right there. MSK is unfamiliar. You said when a woman comes, and that's new territory for MSK.
That's so easy to make a girl blow her load. You just pleasure her.
I tell you what,
and then your back is all blown out.
This chick specifically, she was Cambodian. So she was like a natural Blasian. So like she was black and Asian, right? And so like that was special. Yeah, like, I've been with girls who like get wet, but like she was like it was like going to Niagara Falls, man. And let me tell you, like she like, so you could call me a motherfucker and I could not argue the point. I fucked a few moms in my life, is all I'm saying.
Oh, dude, that's like my highest yield if I were to go down my list. Like,
and
single mom.
God, dude, single moms. Okay, I got the story today.
The easiest thing in the world.
Today I was at work and I was leaving because I got off on time, and this hot single mom was there. I was like, wow, just fuck. I didn't. I should have said something to her. I should have started spitting all the riz. I couldn't do it. I was like, man, I'm about to go up there and fail completely.
What are you gonna ask her to help you with your high school work, dude? What are you doing?
What are you talking about? I'm old.
You look like you're 12, man.
You do look very youthful, but here's the thing, though. That is to your strength, because youth and vitality are a gift that you either hold on to, because it's not the years, it's the mileage. And if you can keep like the mileage like looking like like it's factory fresh for as long as fucking possible, that's a good thing to have. So hold on to your like. Yeah, I mean, you got facial hair, not like a full
MSK
beard.
Is still factory sealed.
Yeah, but don't let him get you down, son. It'll be okay. Your dad is here to say that he's proud of you.
He's rooting for you, just from
That's right.
many states away, and never actually want to meet you in person.
Right. I'm not going to tell you my address, but I am here to say that it's okay that you're my son. You know, I believe in you. Just don't ask me for anything.
Yeah, that 23 years of child support, you're never getting it.
Yeah.
It is a bit too late.
It should have ended at 18, but you look like you might need it.
So, sir, do you know how to flick the bean good?
I mean, all right. So here's another one of those things. Like, you're not your mother, but like the woman that I was married to for a number of years. I'd been divorced from her for about like 4 or 5 years, and then like we had this mutual friend, right? And he goes and he gets a hold of me one day online. He's like, so John, is it true? I'm like, what is what true? What's going on? What is this all about? And he's like, so your ex-wife, she tells everybody how big your dick is. And I was like, what? Why would my ex-wife? And it's like, hold on. Exactly. Why would your ex-wife say something about that unless she's completely unfulfilled in the situation that she's dealing with now? Now, I don't think that I'm John Holmes by any stretch of the imagination, but I would not get thrown off a porn set is all I'm saying. So, like confidence, I've got that.
So you got about a good 8 inches there.
I'm a big fan of 9 Inch Nails. I could say that.
I got 9 inches too. Oh my! See,
Yeah.
we're 9-inch kings. There you go.
Yep. Yeah. So like I say, well, I mean, you get that from your dad. What can I say?
See, there you go. Like blowing women out is easy.
Get what from him? The like massive amounts of lying I'm hearing. Is that it? Because that adds up. No.
Oh, God, man.
John seems like a decent, actually straightforward person, but MSK, you should, I don't know, take some hints from your dad here.
What did I do? I never lied. Are you saying a minority lies? Are you saying people of my color aren't telling the truth about our?
I'm saying that minority on this stream happens to lie. Yes.
God, man. Hi, Emily. How are you guys doing? Also, if anyone came over
from here, it's even
guy,
crazier. It's 25% of the stream is lying. It's weird.
Never. If anyone came over from Problematic White Guys Discord, hopefully you subscribe to the channel and give me a whole bunch of clout because what else would I be doing it for?
Or would it be better if 25% of the stream lied 100% of the time? Is that more accurate?
Can that be a thing? I always tell the truth, even though it probably gets me in more trouble than I probably should lie more often, but I just can't. I feel so bad if I lie to people. I just keep thinking about it and shit. It's like I should have just told the truth. Fucking hell, man.
You say you should tell the truth, not that you do tell the truth. So, like, I mean, like,
hey, Melanie Matt can do it. Why can't I? You can fake it till you make it, right?
I suppose. I mean, do you have a Bible to pick up and kind of like cast aspersions at everybody and say it's not me doing this? It's this Bible right here. Like,
just like a waiver you make girls sign. Hey, fake it till you make it, and then
right.
Man, I haven't owned a Bible in God knows, like a decade plus. Honestly,
Last time I was at a hotel room, maybe. I need for 2 days.
I did read through it just a little over 2 years ago, or actually a little under 2 years ago, when I was in county jail for. I have a genderqueer niece who weighs about 100 pounds more than me, and she attacked me a couple days after Thanksgiving for cleaning the house. And so, of course, I hurt her feelings, so she called the cops because I was trying to clean up a mess. And so, we live in, the 21st century. So this name Problematic White Guy, I actually called myself that.
Was it because she wanted to clean it because she thought she was being a female, or was she?
No.
She job as a dude and didn't let the woman do it.
No, she detested the idea that I was actually cleaning the house. She was a very dirty girl. Not in a good way either.
I wouldn't say that. I would never say those words for a niece ever.
Yeah, no. I just mean that in the sense that, like, she would put tampons and shit in the couch cushions and crazy shit like that. Like so maybe dirty is too kind. Like
that's a weird thing for a dude to do. That's super weird for a dude to do.
I think you need a new niece. Just get rid of
her. Right. Well, that's the thing. Like I said, genderqueer, like whatever, blue hair. And so, like, outweighed me by 100 pounds, attacked me, because I was trying to clean up a mess that she had created. And so, like, she ran outside the house, and I went about cleaning up the house. She evidently was calling the police. And so the police came bounding through the door while her younger sister was yelling at me. And so I spent like a good, I think it was like 8 weeks in county jail while the whole thing kind of like worked itself through. And during that time, I read the Bible.
Enjoy your vacation or what?
Yeah, I mean, well, here's
Having
the
to deal
thing.
with
Here's
that
the
shit?
thing. Here's the thing. County jail. That's what I'm gonna say. Is county jail was better than being stuck in that house, to be quite honest. So yeah, and so during the time that I was there, I actually read the Bible from front to back, and kind of started going through it again because I had time to kill until I got myself bailed out, and then I went to my sentencing. And when I was there for my sentencing, everybody was like, "Oh, well, this is over and done with." The judge, though, her name was Judge Payne, and she was every ounce of her name. And she wanted to send me back to jail for another 6 weeks because she said to me, she said, "Mr. Richards, I could give you disturbing the peace on this, but I don't want to. So I'm going to like give you the full extent of like she just wanted to destroy my life, ostensibly." And so I walked back into county jail. Well, not walk. I was shackled. So I went back into county jail, shackled, and the warden, who's also a woman, she's like, "What are you doing here?" Because when I was there, everybody called me, Jedi Master, all this kind of crazy shit. Like, it was just like nobody could really understand. Like, I seem like a guy who's got a generally good disposition, and it's because I do, But
are you shaped like Yoda? No,
no. Actually, I look a lot like this
Avatar.
V-Roid avatar that I have actually. And so the warden was like, don't start processing him yet, because here's the thing about county jail: if they start to fill out your paperwork, then you have to spend at least a day there, right? And so like she went and she took somebody back to the holding cell, and then came back about 15-20 minutes later and said, "Look, you won't believe this. You were here for 8 weeks and a day, which is 1 day over the minimum that you needed to be here to actually be released for time served, good behavior, and all that kind of stuff." So the judge wanted to send me back to jail, but the warden wouldn't keep me. And it sounds like a country western song, but I shit you not, that is what happened 2 years ago. And I've, just kind of been doing this YouTube thing kind of ever since, because it's like there's really not too many other openings or venues that I have available to me. But it did give me time to actually read through the Bible, as I said, and I'm able to kind of like actually apply kind of what I was going through due to that weird little quirk of fate. So you never know how life is going to turn out, and that's the whole thing about like people who actually walk in good faith, is they actually take the time to appreciate everybody's failings. And if you can actually take a failing and turn it into a win, and an opportunity to learn a lesson from, then it's not really the worst thing that could have ever happened. So that niece ultimately, like within 6 months of that, went and got herself knocked up as soon as like she got done with being like she was like 18, and in the state that I live in, they give you till the age of 19 to be considered a minor. So that was the whole big hang up, was that like technically like I was basically given a misdemeanor violence charge for third-degree assault on a minor, which if you go and you fill that out on a job application, it's like I might as well just say, "Oh yeah, I killed someone." So it's one of those things though, like if you read the headline, which is the problem of living in the 21st century, is most people just read headlines. They don't give shit about context. So so that's kind of where I'm at now, and that's why I go by the name Problematic White Guy, and why I called myself one in court, because I merely stated that, look, if this was my nephew and I was the aunt, this overweight whatever right over here attacking me would have gone straight to the juvie center, and like this whole but because I'm a guy in my 40s and this is an 18-year-old who attacked me, you're just going to assume all this kind of stuff.
And are they a genderqueer woman wanting to be a man, or a man wanting to be a woman? Did that matter? Did that matter at all?
Just genderqueer, like body positive.
So they just say some bullshit just to try to be a part of something.
Right. Like dyes are hairy, they're pink or blue, depending on whatever the fucking feeling is for the week or whatever. Point being is, I do not miss being at that household. And here it is.
Well, I was just more curious is if it was you say niece and you're just being nice, but it's actually like your nephew.
No. Believe me, like had that actually been the case, I would have just been calling him a dude in court. But no, like it was a niece that outweighed me and tried to choke me to death with my own sweatshirt. So That was kind of like I say, it's a weird, stupid thing that happened that had no reason to happen, but it did. And because of that, like, someone had to take responsibility. And because it's 21st century, me being a white dude, that means that I'm obviously at fault, even though I'm the one who got it, even though I'm the one who got attacked. So it's just kind of like it's a weird quirk of reality, but there it is, And so you just got to roll with the punches, and life moves forward. So yeah, that's why I'm a problematic white guy.
We're at this point now where if you're white, you're the problem, and people just don't see that as being racist, and I just don't know how to. It's like a switch that never goes on. It's like, do you even understand what the hell you're talking about? It's like people are stupid.
Right. So yeah,
understanding and comprehension that left a good 15 years ago in society, man. That shit is gone.
Right. So yeah, it's a very interesting state of reality that we're currently living through, and so I just I try to treat people as I would like to be treated, even better, generally speaking, because I can't say that I've been attacked since that point in time, but because of all that weird craziness, like it's kind of given me like the ability to just kind of say, all right, well, I'm not going to do anything else, so I might as well embrace my creativity and just kind of like do this thing and see how far I get on my talent, skill, and ability, because I got nothing else that is really like possible at this point in time. And even if people have like any kind of like how dangerous can I be when all I am is just a 2D panel screen that you're looking at, So you move forward, life goes on. Most people, they're like, well, I don't really get the disposition from you that you're somebody. I don't even hold a grudge against her. I just don't want anything to do with her at this point in time, because it's like she already fucked up her life. She's got like a whole another person's life to deal with for the next 18, 20 years. So, that's kind of the way these things go. And, but it does make for an interesting story. Like people would get paid millions of dollars to pretend that they went through some of my life experiences for just a couple hours of their life. I wrote a 40 page business plan while I was in county jail. I had to put myself into solitary confinement for 10 days because one of the head guard staff and the guy that I was housed with, my cellmate, conspired to assault me, if not kill me. And the only way that I could kind of like make that not happen was to get myself put into solitary confinement for 10 days. And that was during Christmas. So that was also another interesting story that if you want to hear about, I can go more into the crazy lore of who is problematic white guy. But you just let me know, I'm an open book.
I'm a problematic white guy, but I don't have such an elaborate story as that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could go into some stories, don't get me wrong, but
few people
I just never got caught for any of them.
Oh no, I used to not me from like 20, 30 years ago. Yeah, like edgelord, whatever, complete mess. But somewhere along the way, I went to art school, got I have an associate's degree for systems engineering, network infrastructure, my bachelor's in interactive design, game development. I became an FDA certified lobotomist when I lived in Texas. I moved up to Washington, did the thing in the House of Ill Repute, worked at the porn shop.
I'm curious. MSK, do you know what a phlebotomist is?
So I'm so excited for this game show. No, don't tell him. Right. MSK, come on. MSK.
He probably can't even spell it, so I'm not worried about him looking it up.
Yeah, he's trying to Google it, but he's
trying to Google it like slyly right now.
Come on, MSK.
I'm getting hit on by a girl, so I'm having you guys carry the screen for me.
Sure.
Uh-huh. But okay, so back to reality though. What's a phlebotomist? MSK, come on.
How do you?
What are you saying to me, sir?
Yeah, the word is phlebotomist. We're asking for a definition. You
want to give me a lobotomy? That's kind of crazy.
I mean, to be fair, I only learned about this what that word means about 7-8 years ago, and I happened to go on a date with one, and she had to explain it to me. I was like, "The fuck is that?"
Oh, dating a woman.
I do know it now.
Oh, that's just really gay. Dating women is for homosexuals.
All right. So
no
would
idea.
you like to?
Okay. No, not even a guess.
Google is my friend. I'll be Googling it right now.
Yeah. Try and spell it. This will be funny. Do you want to put it up on the screen so we can see how you're
trying to spell it? Spell it out to us how you're going to type it in there, because you're probably
lobotomist, meaning a doctor who performs lobotomies a surgical procedure that involved damaging the brain's
Oh
prefrontal.
Jesus, you are so wrong.
So
No,
that
this
would
is
be
so-
a lobotomist.
That-
We said
yeah.
phlebotomist, which is very different.
You guys
Yeah.
said lobotomy. I said
No,
you
no,
wanna
no,
do
no, no, no,
lobotomy.
no.
We
You're
said
like, yeah.
phlebotomy.
Phlebotomy.
You guys are fucking with me. Fuck off.
No, no,
We
no,
are
no, no.
not.
All right. So
But it's a different
phlebotomy.
profession.
Phlebotomy is all about hematology and also respiratory, because the air that you breathe is constituents of your blood, right? And so like this is part of the reason why it's important to breathe clean air and like actually like give a shit about yourself, because the air that you breathe will become your white blood cells, which is what a phlebotomist does. Is they basically
You're kind
they
of a
hook you-
blood doctor in a way, like
Right.
it's the people who pull your blood and stuff like that.
They pull
usually.
your blood out, put it through a centrifuge, and it separates your white blood cells from your red blood cells, and then they put the red blood cells back in your body. That's what a phlebotomist is. And so, like, I was FDA certified to do that. Like, I actually have more needle training capabilities than like first year med students. So I did that. My sister, the one that we were mentioning earlier, the truck stops and all that, she was at that point in time, she was a physician substitute down in Texas where I was staying at the time. And this was shortly after I graduated from college and was no longer on the day-to-day in and out with the ex-wife that I mentioned as well.
Yeah, I had an ex that went through Hodgkin's lymphoma. She had stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma, so I learned about it during that. And well, she's sadly no longer with us. But
right,
that was one way to learn about it. You know,
yeah.
Well, I
when
just
you're
went.
25, like, and your girlfriend's only 21. Yeah,
Oof, Jesus, that's rough.
That sucked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, on a
Wow.
brighter note,
It's been a long time, so it's not as bad. But anyways, lighter note. Go back to yours. Yours is more interesting. Sorry, I was just remembering. I was like,
that's all right. It's all right. It's just things got very real for a second, you know. Like, but it's okay.
It's been a long time. It's all
okay. Good. All right. Good. Yeah. You know. So yeah, like I was a phlebotomist, like I said, but you know, that was the life in Texas. When I was in when I was in county jail, and like I said, what had happened, the guy that I was housed with, he was a gang member from the age of 13, and so he was basically 13 with 20 years of experience. And so like that's kind of the way that he approached life, because like 13 was when he first started smoking crack and started like, you know, slanging and banging as a gang member. And so you know, I was watching cartoons in the morning, as I often do. I would watch cartoons and Rawhide and things like that. Like, you know, it's like hanging out with my dad, and he had recently died just a few months prior to me going to county jail. So it's kind of like this kind of weird cathartic thing where it's just like I gotta, like, you know, hang out, you know, with the spirit of my dad kind of in my mind. You know, it's like, oh, it was an interesting thing. He came out and he went and he changed the channel in the midst of me like watching a thing, and I said, and there's Trey, because like that was like his gang name, right? And he got all uppity about the situation, wanted to, like, you know, like basically you know, start some shit right there. And I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm in here for an assault charge. Last thing I need to do is be in a fight, right? And so I went and I locked myself in my cell. And he was just kind of like, you know, getting more amped up as the week went by. And so I just kept myself kind of locked in my cell, because there was supposed to be like a room changeover and all this kind of stuff was supposed to happen, and it just wasn't happening. And then you know, ultimately during an episode of SmackDown, the night shift crew was there, and by this point in time I had, you know, realized that the day shift crew was you know, compromised, if not fully corrupt. And he was the guy who, like, you know, was getting stuff in the jail system, you know, like every jail's got a guy like that. And so, you know, like he wanted to do extreme damage to me, obviously. And the head of the guard staff, who would later leave to become a county sheriff, who was also you know, he was Choctaw Indian, and the guy that I was housed with was Blackfoot and Black. And so they looked at me like Tribe of Chad here, you know, problematic white guy. They didn't care about like my past heritage or anything like that. So they wanted to basically kill me for not being native enough. And so that was kind of a problem, obviously. And so I basically had to, while they were checking the rounds and I had myself locked in the room, I held up this piece of paper with the word help written in red crayon on it, because I actually trusted the women on the night staff more so than people on the day staff, because as stated, over the course of the few days that I was there, I saw that there was like this plot to, do me extreme harm. And so I ended up getting myself put in solitary confinement for 10 days, where I ended up reading this book about a guy who started a prison-based ministry, right? And so like the guy who wanted to, do this crazy shit, like the head of the guard staff at that point in time, within a few days, he left his position there to go fuck off and just be a sheriff. So thankfully he was out of the picture. And so now I just had to deal with like, this guy who, crackhead, who wanted to cause, extreme damage if possible, if he had the chance. But his dad was a minister, because we actually talked about stuff before he went nuts basically on me and like wanted to do this whole thing. So I read this book, wrote him a letter, and basically had like another one of the guards who would come and play chess with me take him the book with the letter in it, and basically you just kind of like a peace officer saying, look dude, you're here for like 17 different felonies and all this kind of shit. I'm just kind of like this guy that you're sitting in a room with, really not worth your time or effort to like really go down this road with, because I'm like just this dude, not much to me. And so he ultimately we ended up, it was like right around Christmas, we were the only two people that were there for a Bible study, a fellowship in the county jail. And everybody else, for whatever reason, they didn't want to go to it. I've been in solitary confinement for a week at this point in time, so I just wanted to get out, do anything, right? And so it's me, it's him, and it's the guy who's doing the fellowship Bible studies. And it's just like the three of us in this room. And so I basically we kind of like came to an agreement, to terms that he really didn't have a problem with me. He was just like had a problem with reality. And in that moment, he wanted to do all this crazy shit. And so ultimately, he forgave me, I forgave him. And when I was on my way out the door, when my sister bailed me out of jail, I actually fist bumped with him, through the glass, and I wished him well. I don't know what's happened to him since. But that's the kind of person that I am, is I try not to hold grudges. And if people actually do have issues with me, I usually try to make good and try to see the best in people, even in the worst of situations. So
I try to see the bad in people all the time. That's why I hate everyone.
Well, it's a different approach. You see it,
And I always see the bad in black people. That's the number one. That's how you got to start. You got to start from them, then go to Indians, then go to white people, then Mexicans, then Asians. There's a tier list I have in my head, actually.
Right. Yeah, no, I have a different kind of approach to life in general, and a very unique philosophy on things. But whether that's going to lead me to fame and fortune, I don't really count on. But I just try to enjoy the experience, step by step. Don't even think so much about the destination. Just have a good time getting there.
Because you said you're in Europe, right?
No, I'm not. I'm in the Midwest.
You're in the Midwest. Okay. I thought since you streamed with Ryan, you were in Europe.
No. I stream with people all over the world.
Okay.
Yeah, like Will of the Fans. I will be on Will of the Fans tomorrow morning. It'll be 9 a.m. Eastern our time, 6 a.m. Pacific. For me, it'll be 8 a.m. because I'm in Central Time. But he's based out of the Philippines. Ryan, of course, he's a Welshman. He's based out of Wales, and we do our reality-based streams on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And I stream a crazy amount of hours during the week. I stream anywhere from 20 to 30 hours a week generally on a variety of channels. I also do this show called Weekend Culture on Honey Badger Arcade. And I've only been doing the streaming stuff for a little over 6 months maybe. And I've only been a part of Reality Base since the end of September. So
you guys are rookies, man. I've been doing content creation since 2015. I'm in a mega veteran stage at this point. Actually, what's crazy, I didn't start streaming until I streamed here and there on YouTube, but it was always terrible quality, and I always deleted them. But I started mega streaming.
No, it still
became a thing. See, he's not on my side anymore. I lost him. I paid this guy a fat contract to, basically be my public speaker, but it's cool. But 2020 StreamYard came in and
I mean, that's what you get when you hire condiments, you know? Like, I mean, like maybe, you know, like.
I always tell people this, just do a version of content creation you want, whether it's pre-recorded videos or streams. But I always kind of tell people, unless you're like a huge channel, you're probably better off just making more videos because there's a chance that those will pop off harder than a stream. Like streams generally, unless you're really big, don't garner that many people, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, like, I think I have a very varied approach. You know, I do like, you know, big panel shows. I do, you know, a 3-man show basically primarily, which is Will of the Fans. It all depends on like the levels that you're at too. Like Will, he passed 10,000 subs on his channel, so that's the channel that I'm a part of. That's probably like the biggest thing. And then my on Weekend Culture, the show I do on Saturday mornings. My co-host, he's been doing this for like over a decade, so he knows like a whole bunch of people like who have come in and out of prominence. He knew them before they got big, things like that. You know, Ryan Roger Thay is fairly synonymous on the internet at this point in time. So like there's a certain level of,
he gets to be on Hypnotic's Saturday night.
He is on, yes, and as is Will of the Fans. So like I tell people oftentimes that I'm on the outer ring of the inner circle, you know. So
that means you can get me into Hypnotic's inner circle.
I don't know that I can necessarily do that directly, but if you are interested, if you are interested in joining us on reality-based streams, you know,
you're saying I gotta work in the minor leagues just to get to the big leagues. What you're telling me?
Well, I mean, I don't know how.
I actually like that statement. The outer ring of the inner circle. I'm the same way with a bunch of the people that I know on here too, man. Some of the bigger creators on here, I know a lot of those people. You know, people with anywhere from 100,000 to 1 million subs. It's like I know a lot of these people. But my channel's so small, I don't want to hit them up and be like, "Hey, man, I got 125 subs now. Like, you bring me on." Like,
right.
That's the ultimate. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd probably get subs from it, but it's like that's not the way to do it, man. It's not at all.
A lot of people call me MSK. Merv Griffin. Well, not a lot of people, but one person specifically calls me Merv Griffin because I have so many connections here on YouTube. My FFS Discord, I have like 100 creator channels that I track in real time to basically work as either a DVR service, or if you're a mod, it's a way to just like have like a centralized repository for all these quick links. And there are people that range on there from people that have barely even 100 followers all the way up to people that have like, I think the largest creator that we currently have on there, I think is 8-Bit Eric is the largest. And he's been on there for about 2-3 weeks now, and which is because I met him through Ryan, and he was on our 30 Carat special on reality based a couple weeks ago. So, you know, I definitely have like an interesting kind of space here in the YouTube kind of wider fellowship as we're calling it, I guess. But yeah, I run this Discord called the Fellowship Fringe Society, FFS. I say for fuck's sakes all the time, so it was just kind of like a nice little.
Have you gone out to the Nerdrotic meetups in Vegas?
I have not. The last time I was in Vegas, that was the first time that I was in jail. I actually broke into a jail when I was in Las Vegas.
Broke into one, huh?
I was so drunk I broke into a jail. I broke into the Henderson County Jail specifically.
What's wrong with you? What is wrong with your brain?
I was incredibly
not in jail, but yeah.
I was incredibly
I've never heard someone say they're going to break into jail. It's never been.
All right, this is not all right. So I always have to tell people this is not something that I did knowingly. You know, I was very drunk. You know, like and when I explained the story to the judge, you know, because like, all right, so I break into jail and when I broke in, I was very drunk. I was in this alleyway. And I saw a razor wire. I didn't know it was razor wire fence. I just saw a fence. And I was like, all right, I could jump over that. I've jumped fences before. No big deal. And so I slingshot myself over the fence. And like, there's a razor wire there. It ends up cutting up all my clothes, everything like that. I like landed the ground in like a runner's position. So I got like all this gravel pitted into my hand. And so I take off like a shot. And I'm just kind of like, you know, diving and like, you know, kind of ducking through this rail yard, right? And all of a sudden, like, I start to hear the sirens, and like clear as day, like I hear it in third person, John, you're gonna get yourself shot. I don't, this is not how I talk to myself, in my inner monologue. So like this is kind of like my first foray into that walk of faith that I've been talking about. And so, I lay down, I start making like, a gravel angel, and I just wait because I know what's happening at this point in time. And so like a guy comes up, he's like, don't worry, we'll take you the rest of the way. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you broke into jail. And so I went, I got like, like taken to the jail, which is like at this point in time, less than a football field's distance away. And they processed me through. They gave me like a Band-Aid for like all the cuts on my hands, and like they wanted me to take out the piercings in my ear. And I just told them that wasn't going to happen. I was covered in blood, so they were just like, fuck it, just whatever. And so they let me in, and I still had my piercings in. And so everybody was all freaked out because like they're like, I was sitting at the mess hall, the first day that I was there, and everybody was like, what's this guy like, and I was just like, they're like, why do you still got your earrings? I was like, I told them they couldn't take them. And so like people didn't know what to make of me then. And so like I was there for a couple days. I tried to get myself bailed out, which evidently is a $75,000 offense to break into a county jail. So don't do that. I would highly recommend. And so my credit card got shut off, and the bondsman that I had, had to come bail me out ended up just coming and getting my stuff. So I didn't even have access to my credit card or anything at that point in time. And I couldn't even get myself bailed out. So ultimately what had happened, because I was getting a ride across the country from a couple of guys that were in college, and they were taking me from Texas to California, and they just like, we'll do it if we can stop in Las Vegas along the way. And I was like, whatever, I don't care, I'm pedestrian, it's cool. And so we get to my video court a few days later, and I'm sitting there waiting for my court case to come by, and the officer who was obviously like one of the guard staff goes walking by in the hallway. And so I get up, which you're not supposed to do, and I run out in the hallway, which of course you're not supposed to do. And I start having a conversation. I say, hey man, I just wanted to let you know I'm sorry about the other day. I was just incredibly drunk. He's like, you're drunk? He's like, they all thought I was like, on PCP or some kind of crazy shit. Who breaks into a jail, right? And so I give him like, a quick dirty version of the story I'm telling you now. And he's like, that is crazy. That is just wow. And he's like, have you had your court case yet? I was like, no, I think I'm going on, fairly soon. He's like, all right, well, I wish you luck. And, I hope it turns out well for you. And so I go back in, I sit down, and finally get called up, I'm about to get called up for my case, and then they take a recess. And so like, I'm waiting for like another 15, 20 minutes. And so the court case finally begins, and it's video court, and so the judge is there, and he's like, all right, so Mr. Richards, how do you plea? And I said, well, I was apprehended on these very grounds, so I can't sit here and say that I'm innocent, but I'm also not guilty because I was completely just, drunk, fucked out of my mind, like, basically tell the story again. And he starts laughing. He's like, yeah, that's what I heard, but I just had to hear it from you as well. And he's like, that is, and so basically, he's like, how long have you been here? I said, I think I came in on Sunday morning. And he's like, all right, tonight when we, do the changeover, I'm just going to let you out. We're going to dismiss all the charges. And so I never go back to Vegas, because unless somebody's going to duct tape themselves to my leg and make sure that I don't do anything stupid. And so, yeah, no, I've never been to a Nerdrotic meetup in Vegas. Don't know I'll ever go to one there unless someone is quite literally willing to be duct taped to my leg the entire time.
Well, since we've been talking about, Nerdrotic, since he talks about a lot of stuff that we talk about on the show here, as far as movies and all the other stuff, because you're big into gaming, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, like I went to college for it, and I nearly got a job working for Rockstar.
Are you more of a PC guy now, or a console guy, or you just?
I've given up on consoles. Consoles are kind of trash. I've got a PS5. It's a fucking boat anchor. I wouldn't suggest anybody get one.
Okay, yeah, because for me, consoles and PC, I like being like, I like having both options. I like going between. I love men, but I won't sleep with a man. Because I'm not a flaming homosexual, but I like women. So that's what the PC is for, You catching my drift there, buddy?
I don't know that I am. I have a Steam Deck.
That's way better than a Switch. People are talking about the Switch 2, man. It's like, get a Steam Decks are way better. They're like better in
Steam
every
Decks are pretty
regard.
amazing. I'm in the process of switching my system over to using my Steam Deck as my primary tool for creativity. I've got a laptop that's about 4 years old. I've been running it like a server, and so part of the reason why I haven't put out new VOD content in the last few months and what have you is this crazy background that you see behind me. Like this is like 17 layers of distortion that were built up. And like I feed it through, and like it would get more fucked up, and I would take that video and then I would feed it back into DaVinci Resolve, and like I kept doing stuff to it, and it got to the point to where, you know, like I was just basically baking the processor on my laptop. And then there was one day that I used to do my videos where in the foreground it was problematic white guy, the character, and then I was like in the background on a screen. And it was kind of like, you know, like those infinity lines where like it just kind of repeats. And so I had this thing set up to where I could actually flip a switch and go from being problematic white guy to being the live version of me. And I did this once on a live stream, and I blew out all the power in my room. And ever since then, my computer hasn't worked right.
So what you're saying is you voted for Kamala Harris.
No, I would not do such a crazy thing. Like,
I'm pretty sure. You know what's crazy? Not just you. A bunch of other people didn't vote for her. So you're
right. I was gonna say the majority of people didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Not that anybody should, or you know.
Thing is, Cyfax, he roasts me in the chat, but I always gotta let him know who's the top G around here. Who's the real Riz master?
I mean, I've been told that I'm the wood.
Sounding like John
I'm
might
all
have
rizzed
you
up.
beat. Like,
Yeah.
God, man. See, I lost to John. I lost to another white guy. How many white guys do I have to lose?
You're losing to 2 white guys and a thing of mustard, dude. Like,
wow.
The Riz meter is kind of coming up a little bit empty. Just a bit.
Good gosh. Hey, if I was a bottle of ketchup, I would be respected way more up here.
I mean, you'd be complimentary.
There you go.
Look at that.
If I'm a bottle of ketchup, I'll be liked more. But if I'm a bottle of barbecue sauce, you could basically pour me on your food and taste me. See?
I don't want to taste you
that.
ever.
That sounds kind of gay. Yeah. That would be kind of gay. You know, even out of context, it'd be insanely gay. You know?
Yeah. I mean, this conversation was flowing, and then it just kind of just stalled out.
It's crazy. You guys got like these weird little like almost kind of VTuber things. I got mine off of Fiverr. Look how shitty I look. This is terrible, man.
Like, I made mine for the Weekend Culture after I was already doing live streaming, and I was like just like a dude. And my co-host, he's like, would you be interested in could you make a VTuber model of yourself? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so I made this, and I've been using it. And then I know this amazing creator from Japan. Her name is Osaka Chandal. She has one of the best, amazing channels on YouTube currently, and she is she's many things. She's a lyricist. She does her own choreography because she uses video motion control capture for her VTuber. She tells these great, amazing ghost stories, and she's got like amazing vocal control. And she's like, so she sings, and so like when she's telling the ghost stories, it's kind of like, you know, like she's the essence of magic that inhabits a doll. Is the kind of thing on the channel itself, and so. It's very kind of like it's not the voice that she uses when she's telling the ghost stories is kind of, it makes people feel a little bit kind of like, well, what is this? This isn't like, this doesn't sound right. And it's like, yeah, it's not supposed to, because it's magic making a doll speak, right? But when she sings, you know, it's some of the most soulful, amazing stuff. And she sings, of course, like she can sing in English, she can sing in Japanese. I met her on Christmas, just a little over right around a month ago, because it's what, the 23rd right now or some shit like that. Yeah, like I've known her for about a month, and I would recommend to anybody Osaka Chandal. Subscribe to her channel, go listen to her amazing music. She is also a model in real life. she's an amazing VTuber, and the reason I bring her up is because she met me and she's like, I want to fix your Vroid. I was like, what's wrong with it? And she pointed out to me that I don't have a nose, and so I actually do have another one of these that I'm getting ready to upgrade to in the near future, as soon as I get some of my other tech issues sorted out and can actually start doing a channel. On my channel, we're going to do a show called International Insomniac, and so it'll be something that I can do.
You're joining Insomniac Games?
No.
Dang
No, no, because
it.
Insomniac Games is like kind of, I wouldn't want to be associated with them at this point in time, to be quite honest.
Yeah, they might actually leak your personal information because they got hacked like a year ago, right?
Right. But no, I'm going to do the show called International Insomniac with Osaka. She's at least going to be my first guest, if not my long-term co-host. We're still working out all the details of it. But yeah, like for me, it would be nocturnal, insomnia time for here in America. But for her, because she's 15 hours ahead, it would be, more comparable with her time of the day. Because again, like I really do well with international audiences. People here in America, though, they think I'm kind of like a little too much. As you've noticed, I've been sitting here talking about like this crazy shit for like an hour and a half, and you thought you were gonna get rid of me like 30 minutes in. So yeah,
you only had so much time. I was gonna.
Oh God, no! I got all the time in the world. I got all the time in the world. Like I'm the man on the internet.
I mean, we spend like 90% of the time roasting MSK, anyways. So I mean, it's all good, dude.
See, I literally put out my incredible wisdom, my incredibly well laid out arguments.
Yeah. So, anyways, problematic white guy.
Oh, what the
fuck?
No, it's better for the show.
Yeah, Grace in there being a
really
bottle of fucking aspirin pills. Like, what are you?
Oh, it's Vegemite.
Vegemite.
There's
you never heard of that? Man. It's terrible.
Flaming retard.
Yeah.
Good lord.
I mean, I can go
Marmite. Oh well, I think
I've never. You know what? Is Marmite worse? Oh, it's yeast extract.
about the same. They're both
they're pretty similar to each other. Yeah. I think the mustard so far is like. I understand why you do the mustard. Yeah.
Oh
the mustard's the best.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is that like the same app where they have like the talking potato and shit like that? Is that what that is?
No, I just made stupid PNGs for a lot of things.
Yeah. PNG
Walter says, cool. Poor problematic. He thinks he went through the rough part of life already. Little does he know it just began with him being on these streams.
Well, here's the great thing about that is I don't necessarily like I could just be visiting, or I could be the one here to like, take your channel to that next level. You never know.
You see, if you could take me to that next level, then I will just get on my knees for you. You see, that's how it works, right?
All right, so don't do that.
He's wanting so bad to kick people like me off of here. Like you have no idea. No, like
right.
See?
He did
really?
literally like put out the thing to me. He's like, hey, we should collab. And I'm like, all right, what are your ideas? He's like, I need somebody who can like, do my Wednesday show. I'm like, all right, well, I'll check it out. He's like, full time. And I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah. We'll keep you every once in a while. You're like a guest, like in the TV show when that ant character comes over. The ant
right. Like I can be your Kramer. I just show up unexpectedly, and then like, oh shit, John's doing the thing tonight.
When he hit me up about it too,
Kramer-ing.
like the days that he asked me on, I was like, I kind of usually don't have much going on those days, so I guess sure. Like
right.
I provided side facts with so much clout and grade. They're like, you know what, MSK, I'm indebted to you at this point.
I've got at least 2 subscribers from here, at least.
Hell yeah. See, we're moving up in the world, man.
I tell you,
did they watch any of my shit? But
did you happen to put my my channel information in your description or anything like that? Like at problematic.
Oh, I joined you. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that's all I asked for. Yeah, like like I come here, like like I do the meet and greet, kind of like get a few subs for myself.
Yeah, I subbed to yours. I unsubscribed to MSK. It was a great trade off.
Yeah. Oh, I have jail time, so I can't come back. Evidently, is what people in the chat are saying.
You're not in jail. You're just gonna be in. This is gonna be in prison. I'm like, you guys are crazy. You guys are insane.
Well, I mean,
in jail, he can easily get a cell phone and jump on. Come on, guys.
Yeah, and again, that was 2 years ago. I've been free and clear of that stuff.
Oh, you changed now. Yeah, like AOC going off on Elon Musk about some like non-Hitler salute. Meanwhile, she was doing the same shit. Women are just the most hypocritical pieces of shit on this planet, for being honest here. Holy
Well, I mean, if we could,
God.
like AOC, you know, she is the very definition of a cocaine girl. I call her the Capitol Hill cocaine girl. You know, because you can't spell cocaine without AOC.
I've said this before, man. She's one of the few bartenders that I think it's stupid enough to not know how to make a fucking Jack and Coke. She's that stupid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust her to do it. I'd be like, she would need 15 steps for a 2-step process.
Right. It's quite literally just like get glass.
It's in the title of the.
Yeah. She's a special one. I mean, I know Alex Stein likes to call her Big Booty Latina, you know, but
she's not ugly. She's not ugly. I would definitely.
Well, right. She's a cocaine girl.
Just her personality.
That's the whole reason. Yeah.
The personality is shit, you know.
Right. I mean, like, she's not ugly from across the room, but she is one of those women that the more she says, the less that you want to be around her.
Yeah. If she was last call at the bar, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, it's like
until I saw her Instagram, like, or whatever.
Right.
or her Twitter, whatever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, as long as that's all right. So, yeah, she's kind of women that, like, as long as she's just kind of like, you know, using her mouth, you know, but not to speak, then, you know, maybe you can kind of put up with her. But yeah, like once she actually starts getting on like her whole kind of whatever it is, then you'll have things to do. You'll need to go out for a pack of cigarettes, or baby, I'll be back. Just gonna go get some milk. Kind of like what happened with your mom. You know,
it's the kind of woman you say like, if I wanted a lip from you, I'd wiggle my zipper too. You know,
right?
Like, that's the kind of woman you say that to.
Right. So yeah, AOC, she's and she's, you know, she is approaching that wall, you know.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, like we all have to remember that, you know, Nancy Pelosi at one time, she was young. She used to be AOC of Capitol Hill back during the, you know, JFK's administration.
Yeah, she's the one that bought she bought the new titties, right? So it's like that's like a 60-year-old woman's version of buying a fucking Corvette in your 40s,
right?
You know?
Yes. And so yeah, like
it's too old to even use these now. Shit, what the hell?
Right. she's there for at least another 50 years, unless, you know, like
she might even run for president.
I'm sure she will, and then she'll be soundly, like, you know, like told to sit down, like within the first
just like Kamala when she not even when she first ran in the preliminaries in 2020 or whatever. It was like what she got like less than 1%.
Right. She was out by the first time, the first primary.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard just fucking just destroyed her career. And surprisingly, they were like, yeah, let's pick the worst person from the preliminaries. It's like, okay.
The person that was already not liked, not even getting a vote, was the person that they put up to run for president. That's crazy.
Right. Well, that's because she's a cutout, you know, like you don't go and put in people that actually have personality and charisma and actually get by.
Who can you buy out? Buy out?
You need to have somebody who's pliable and compliant and willing to, like, you know, do your bidding. And the easiest people to find for that are people that, you know, have no principles or values. They just are willing to virtue
like corporate. It's because they ran it like a corporation, man. Corporations don't want to hire the person that's actually going to do the job greatly and or succeed and come and take their job. They're like, let's find a sheep, basically. The person who's not going to ask for a raise every year, not do this, not apply themselves. Like, you can help keep things running just okay, but we're in charge here. That's what they did. Yeah.
So that's AOC for you.
Here's our latest meltdown about the bill that's deporting immigrants. I'm just going to point out, they came here illegally. They already fucking broke the law.
Right.
Fuck out.
Right.
That's what happens when you do crime. You know, what's the whole thing around? You know, fuck around, find out kind of thing. You know,
that is yes, the expression.
Sorry about that.
If someone wants to point a finger and accuse someone of shoplifting, they will be rounded up and put into a private detention camp and sent out for deportation without a day in court.
You mean one of those private detention camps that was built by Barack Obama on the southern border? Oh, I guess we're not supposed to talk about that part.
No, my favorite one is the one where she goes out and she's saying, they're only out there, they're just out there getting food and stuff, and it's like, then it just cuts to people robbing like an Apple store.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah. Look at
just
all
because it
those
says
loaves of
apple on the
bread.
sign doesn't mean there's fucking apples in there.
Right, right.
Yeah. Look at all those loaves of bread they're taking. It's like people understand that's the
You
dumbest
look at the
lie they
logo.
tell
There's already a
people.
bite taken out. You don't want those anyways. Come on.
They're like,
Right.
man, they have to do that, otherwise they wouldn't have food. And it's like, but they're not stealing food.
Yeah, they're
That's what-
stealing that to sell, and then they'll go buy the food.
They literally
Right,
get this thing called food stamps. So if you can't even budget that money that is freely given to you, it's like, oh my god,
I've been seeing
man.
videos going around that since Trump has been in, that they started to reject people on food stamps. If you're an able-bodied person, like
Yeah, go
they
to
started
work.
to reject that. Like, get the fuck
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, everyone. My hair has been doing some weird stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
can I can be one of you guys. But yeah, man,
So
it's
many white people on stream. Your hair's actually coming out straight. Like,
well, I am straight. I am a flaming heterosexual. I sleep with women.
I mean,
of
at
that
least
sounded true.
your hair is coming out straight. I guess you'll come following after a couple weeks. Let's
No,
get all
that's
the
not how it
gayness
works.
out.
I remember back in the day, people thought there was a gay gene. I'm like, okay, now we've literally reached peak stupidity. Remember that? Oh god,
Yeah.
we've had some crazy things here on
Gay
America.
gene. I just thought those were emo pants, man. What are you talking about?
Emo people are weird, man. I remember that phase people had. That's just cringe. Thank God that doesn't exist anymore. Michael wants an emo bitch. I'm like, Michael, she has no soul if she's emo. She ain't
And she's
gonna like
also
love
probably
you.
14. That's a problem.
I mean, like,
Okay, let's not be Bill Gates here. We're good. You know,
who
I like
hasn't
some age
spent
women.
who hasn't spent like an uncomfortable amount of time with a goth girl in their life? So
I've not,
Dude, I
was
play in a death metal band, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surrounded
totally.
by that.
Goth chicks are
Industrial
awesome.
chicks, all that. No, they're great,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
goth women are awesome. Goth
Yeah,
girls, not
MSK,
great.
you didn't need to put the qualifier on there. We know you haven't spent time with women, goth or not.
yeah. People are going at Elon Musk for that Hitler thing they think he did. You know what? We need to normalize Hail Hydra. You know, that's what we need to normalize. Hail Hydra. There we go. That's how we make comic books known to the world. You know.
I mean, speaking of
Did
Hail
your heart just
Hydra,
go out to everybody? Is that what
That's
you
my.
just did there?
Yep. That's me.
See,
Gifting
I didn't
Hydra
fully
to the
extend.
world.
I only
right,
half
right. But that motion in and of itself isn't even what like a sig heil looks like, because it's a straight arm kind of thing. It's like goose stepping, but for your arm. Like it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you just lift it, right? And so like
well, it's also funny. It's like the way when people salute and they do it in like the middle of their head. Like
Mhm.
I only did what's it called, ROTC. I did that in like fucking high school, and they teach you how to do a proper salute, and it's close to your head. It's not in
Right.
the middle of your head. So when
Right.
people always even do that wrong, so it's like you're
Right.
still not even doing the simple salute right. Yeah, you're doing this one, and it's like everyone does it differently. Like because everyone like they're sitting there trying to wave to the crowd, and it's like the best thing I would say to these people, like just make sure you keep your hand open. Don't go full straight out with it. Keep your hand open if you're gonna do
right.
that.
'Cause then it just
'Cause
like
that's
Oh,
where it
hey.
seems to lose people.
closed fingers. That's where what you're saying is closed fingers where the problem
Yeah,
really
yeah.
lies.
Yeah, that's what it seems
See,
to
I want
be.
you guys to watch this movie with me. We can all watch it together in the movie theater and not touch each other because that'd be really gay, obviously. First, look at the threesome. You guys gonna watch this? The film follows one man's crush who leads him into a threesome that ends up having huge consequences.
No, but I'm
Chick
gonna see
flick,
that.
my kind of
I'm gonna
movie.
see the Sydney Sweeney one. There's like Sydney
mean,
Sweeney and like
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
with Ana de
actresses that
Armas.
are with it's like three
Yeah,
of them.
I have to
like
watch
a
that for
lesbian
science reasons.
threesome. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Much science will be done in that room.
right.
Just all
Although,
of
like,
it. Though.
I mean, I worked at a porn shop, so I've seen plenty of threesomes. Like,
I should probably have one. I should probably have one before I die, right?
A threesome? You're gonna?
Yeah, it's probably
I
You've
mean,
never
it's,
had a
it's going
threesome?
to be aspirational. Yeah.
Oh, you guys
Come on,
are
you've hung out with the
assholes.
boys
Holy
before.
shit.
Yeah. I mean,
All this
you
talk
got-
about women, you've never had a threesome, and I'm saying with two girls, not with your fucking boyfriends, dude.
Whoa. If you have a threesome with two trans women, because they're women, right? Wink, wink. Is that technically having a threesome with two women?
No,
Okay,
that's
that's never happened to me
I'm
either.
surprised you're able to say that with two dicks in your mouth, but okay.
that's like. I mean, were you the one being spit roasted?
I'm just, I've never had sex with men, so no. But it's a hypothetical I could put out there. And you guys
I mean, I could not say anything about like trans women. Yeah, no, sorry, sir.
Yeah, I'm not into dudes. Good Lord.
Well, yeah, but were the dudes into you is more the question.
Yeah. You guys ever had a one-some?
I think I just call that masturbation.
I'm pretty sure. No one got the joke. People thought I just said one-some because I'm retarded. Like, no, did you not get the joke? See, you understand me.
No, we just believed you're actually that retarded every single time you say shit like that.
I made like an insanely clever joke, and everyone's just like, "This guy stupid." Like, what the hell? No one got the joke. Whatever.
That has never happened before.
Yeah, 1 is the loneliest number.
Right? Hey, it's that like the Sydney Sweeney movie where she's gonna be eating out Ana de Armas. Like, bro, oh my god, there was already a dude that got in trouble for beating off to one of her movies earlier, like last year. So imagine that one.
For that? Which is crazy because, like, in this day and age,
that
like,
story finally came out. I only got arrested last year for that shit, but
just wait a couple of weeks. It will be on digital before you even know it. It's probably already able to be pirated. And it's not like you actually are watching it for like the plot or anything.
Sometime later, that's coming out later in the year. I don't remember what's the name of that one is, but I got to like see Sydney Sweeney. She was only a couple rows ahead of me, and she is banging in person, man.
Yeah.
She's my number.
Never.
I thought you were a homie. That gets me the hookups.
If she's out there and she's single, I want there to be a chance that she's still into men, so she should never meet you.
Yeah, why would he curse her to that fate?
These are the questions. It's like the mystery of the moist cave.
So technically speaking, if we had a threesome with Ana de Armas and Sydney Sweeney, like which one would you prioritize first if you're like eating one out?
I mean,
hard choice, though. Like, they're both pretty hot. Like, damn, that kind of sucks. Do I really have to choose one to prioritize first? Because the one you prioritize first, the other one's gonna get jealous, and know it's gonna be a problem.
No, it's gonna just look like a constant fucking Illuminati sign, dude. Just a giant triangle going on at all times.
Right. I mean, like, I might. There's a good chance I'll end up with pink eye in that situation. Is all I'm saying.
You're talking about? You're not putting your face in a butt.
I would have earned that pink.
No. Like the vagine, sir. Like,
I imagine they're going to be clean. Hopefully, maybe.
Right. I'm not actually talking about like any kind of like I'm
personal experience, right? Yeah.
No. I'm just referring to like pink eyes and like my face is going to be right there. Like it's a joke. I'm sorry. Might have gone a little over your head. It's okay though.
I know how you feel. I literally know how you feel. Just happened to me a few seconds ago. So it's all good.
No. It's okay. It's okay. These things happen. But I mean, you don't really have to prioritize one or the other. Hey, Toasty.
Hi, Toasty. How are you doing? She's here for me. That's what she's here for.
She is here for John. See? Yeah.
It's literally in black and white, man.
Hey,
yeah.
Women can lie to themselves. I can lie to myself too.
Hey, I may have been hanging out with Toasty all the way up until having to come over here and do this show.
Hanging out and inside
her? Inside her studio for for streaming.
Yeah,
it was all up in her headphones, man. It was very intimate.
Yeah, Toasty and I, like, we exchange DMs throughout the day, like she's a good friend.
She has a pretty nice round asset.
She has many nice round assets.
That's true. I don't look at them because I'm a heterosexual, but I was like, these look pretty good. They probably taste great.
Well, I might have been the person who turned her bunny hop video into a GIF image that you could see frequently on my FFS Discord.
I watched it a few times, for the science reasons,
Right. Yes.
She couldn't handle me during sex, so she left me, and I was like, you know what? Hell yeah.
I mean, she is a part of New Blackstreet's Nightmare on Black Street on Monday night.
She said, I want to try out 9-inch dicks, and I'm like, you know what? I'm your guy,
Oh, yes, I was whispering the N-word sweetly to her, is what she's saying in the chat. I mean, you can...
No. No.
I will let you talk amongst yourself, decide what that N word may be, may or may not.
God. Bob, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but yeah, Toasty, she misses me. She kind of talks about me every single day. She's like, I gotta just be around MSK. He's just hot, rich, and good looking, and can give me all the clout.
Nobody's ever said that.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Toasty's my girl. We hang throughout the week. She's part of reality based. So like
she's based. That's crazy.
She is very based.
This woman be saying the most absolutely ludicrous things. I'm like, okay. One stream, I swear she was like, I just hate black women. And I'm like, okay, holy fuck.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know that Toasty would say that. Like she herself.
Isn't that how you just send out all the links to people? You're like, I hate black women. Here's the stream link. Like, isn't that just your opener? Like,
I mean, I like what exactly are your issues with your mother?
Well, done. She's gone. She passed away years ago. So I just have no mom and I have no dad. So I'm an orphan essentially.
Well, well, I mean, yeah.
So many things make sense now.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, I am allegedly. We have not necessarily.
It does suck though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm already over it. I've been over it for a long time. Got it. That's what men need to do in life. Tragedy happens and you push forward through it. Never let things just depress you. Everyone's lost loved ones. I mean, you look at LA recently, it's been getting pretty bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say Toasty doesn't hate black women. She is a black woman to some degree. Yeah. Just saying,
Yeah, she said her favorite sex positions are like doggy style and 6ix9ine, and I forgot the other one.
Are you on her OnlyFans?
I would never subscribe to that. I have more standards for myself.
What do you mean more standards? What's wrong with Toasty?
OnlyFans is for losers. Who subs to that shit? I mean, if she gets money, that's great. But
I mean,
hey, man,
just describe yourself.
Yeah, that's you were saying some things that made me think. Toasty, since you're in the chat, do you recognize
out of the four panelists on here, who's the most likely to have an OnlyFans subscription to your stuff?
Right.
Oh, God, man. See, that's the thing is I have an account because a friend asked me to make one to subscribe to her thing for free. So I'll never go on, and I've been on in for fucking a while. So
12 hours. That's
12 hours a day. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 hours is a while.
God.
You're saying you just dabble.
I just dibble and dabble in OnlyFans. Just once in a while. But like the only reason why I could never get into it like most other guys did is because it's not real. Like all the time you spent talking to girls like that, you could just go out and get a girl in your life. At a certain point, I was like, you know what? This is just not worth it. And I was like, why do people pay money for all this stuff? It's a waste of time and money and resources.
I just assumed, knowing you weren't going into like the real life, like actually date a woman. I thought you meant it wasn't real, like a hidden camera or something. But no, that's good that you're graduating to actually talking to women in real life.
Yeah. Oh no, that latter part never happened. But this is hypothetically. We're speaking in theory here.
Oh, so the OnlyFans is like proving grounds. It's like training wheels for you.
Oh no, like man, today at work I could have talked to that mom, but I was like, fuck it. It's really hard to talk to women in my personal life, man. I just can't even muster the ability to do it anymore. I'm just a fucking hot, rich, good-looking guy that they see, and that's it.
All right,
the apron while you're making them their sandwich or something? Is that what's throwing you off, or what?
No, it's God. They look at me and they go, "Damn, I want a piece of that," and I'm like, "Damn, I wish I could speak to this woman right now." I believe
that they say "damn" when they look at you.
Like back in the day, I never had this issue. I just kind of freeze up now. I just can't. I don't even know what to say. It just goes completely blank. I'll make a game plan in my head. In my head, I'll go like, "Man, I'm walking up to her and do this like in a movie," and that shit is just in my head. I'm like, "Huh, that's never gonna happen."
Indeed. You gotta.
Hey, it's in the name. It's in the name.
You gotta believe to achieve, as the expression goes. Let's see. Do you prefer 2 fingers in? Or like 3? What do you mean? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, like you do the pre-insertion before you.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, like, it's not really a matter of my choice. You have to be a pleaser. So like the ladies will let you know. I mean, but generally, it's best to kind of like start with 1, maybe 2. Like this is a matter of tightness.
Huh?
MSK, how do you let the guys know?
That's what you don't finger dudes. That's gay, Gray. What's wrong with you?
Does the cough test, just
Yeah. I think my ex asked, like, why would you finger a girl? It's like, well, you do that because what you said, and you could smell it too. So if that bitch is fucking stank coochie smell, you're not putting your mouth on it. It'd be disgusting, right?
I mean that is a definite tactical.
Yeah, like literally.
My DualShock is here. We need to be respectable. It's a very high respectable channel. They're like
Oh, my DualShock. Oh, hey, I commented on one of your posts on Twitter. I'd love to have you guys on the show at some point. Clout chasing.
They're great.
What I
do.
do.
They're great.
There's 2 people. That's a married couple. Although there was a dude running that channel.
Well, I'm pretty sure like the 2 main people are together, and then their brother Peter runs it with them. So it's 3 people. Or the guy.
They were
Andy's
recently,
brothers with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe they've recently been on Angry Badger's channel and
Angry they've been getting a lot of those people over there. Like I'm usually on their streams on Thursdays. Tomorrow I probably won't be just because I got to go and do some stuff. But usually I'm there on Thursdays with them. And they're great, man. Their videos are hilarious. It's the kind of stuff I would like to be doing, but I suck with all this internet shit. So
oh no, Toasty, I do apologize. You have to excuse my son.
She's fucking with us. She'd never. I don't think I've seen her get offended at anything really.
Yeah, no. Toasty is unflappable. She's great.
I mean, I don't fap to her, but
I mean, I didn't say unflappable. I said unflappable. But believe me, I'm sure she's highly, but if you ever want to, just follow me on Twitter, and we'll just set something up. So if I'm taking on 2 dudes and a girl, we gotta make a game plan there. Because am I gonna be like the third guy? Might be the first guy or the second guy? Yeah. I mean, hey,
well,
Toasty,
I believe they're.
You want me to send you the link, Toasty?
They're like 2 hours. They're like 2 hours difference than like they're somewhere in the middle of the country. So like probably one of your 6 o'clock shows would probably be better for them because then
it'd be like Monday. So yeah, it has to be Monday or Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah. He said cloud chase one.
No, they're good. They're good people, man. They're funny, man. But they do a lot more like actually they do a lot of the stuff we kind of normally talk about. Like tonight's just been bullshitting.
Oh yeah,
like when you do.
I did kind of show up and kind of like just take us into like a different.
No, I don't mind that at all. A lot of these topics is stuff everybody's been talking about.
Yeah, I know. I know. And that's kind of like the thing.
We have topics. What are you talking about? I actually changed the topic.
Do not worry about that shit. No, do not worry about that. See, here's the thing about YouTube that I've I like to mix it up. I like to have new experiences, talk to new people, do all the thing. Because I find that there's a lot of people out there that they end up kind of like going around the carousel of bullshit and like they only want to speak to like the level of comfort they have. And like for a lot of these things, it's like it's only so far into kind of like they're embedded in the surface of the issues.
Sometimes it's easier to do that when you have like a lot of like this 4 people is probably a little more manageable, but once you start getting to like 6, 7, 8, 9 people on a panel,
that's
then
why
you got to go panel by panel. You got to go, hey man, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? Because it'll just turn into just a bunch of people just smashing opinions.
You're right.
And then if you re-listen to it later, it's just like you can't hear anybody's opinion.
I think F&T does it like F&T probably does it the best you can, but even that.
They finally got it down. It took them a while to get it down because when I first started doing that, when I first started watching them, they would only have like 6 people. Now that it's constantly 9 to 10 people,
just 10 full people.
Well, on reality based, we have a constantly shifting, cast of characters. I am there for every episode with Ryan Roger. Toasty is also there quite frequently ever since she's joined us. Noise Pollution, who is also in the chat earlier. Reality Base is representing. Ryan Roger would have been here, but he literally had to go to sleep right before I started streaming with you guys.
For my DualShock, Lily Phillips is a whore, and so was Bonnie Blue. Don't those women? Lily Phillips sells up like 100 dudes.
Yeah, no, you're correct. What they said is right. Like,
yeah. Bonnie Blue just slept with 1,020 dudes, right?
So I like to refer to Lily
don't bring
Phillips
them roses. Don't bring them roses and chocolate. Just don't do that.
I wasn't doing it. I'm black. I'm poor. I just have a BBC, so that's good enough, right?
I refer to Lily Phillips as the train station. Because like everyone gets a ride. all
Town
aboard.
bicycle. Yeah.
So what about Bonnie Bluebee? She did 1,000 dudes.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's lots of train stations in the world.
Is that the Greyhound? Whatever.
Station to station, as it goes.
Toasty, did your body hurt from me having sex with you? Because I know I did a very, very good job.
No. She because I asked her if she was willing to be on the panel right now, and she said that she's laying in bed.
Jump on, man.
Oh no, I don't send people links in the chat. If you're already on, you'd be on the show. I do that ages ago. Because then, like,
no, noise. I knew you were there in the chat. I was just looking for the appropriate time to actually mention my cohorts from Reality Base, and thank you for representing.
Calling representation. Yeah. Yo, no noise. I like your owl. Wait, is your favorite Pokemon Noctowl? Or Pidgeotto?
Yeah. It's Dax still with us, I wonder? Dax!
No, Dax went to sleep a while ago.
Oh, did he? Did he peace out? Let's see. And yep, I'm out. Yep, XP, have a good one. Panel on the chat.
Yeah,
yep,
it was once we talked about MSK having 2 dicks in his mouth. He was done.
Yeah, that never happened at all. What ended up happening was, like I said, if you have sex with trans women, because I guess they're considered women now, is that considered having a threesome with 2 women?
Again, no.
No.
That's just
it's just a gay threesome with extra steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was like, that's just you probably should also admit that to your friends either. It's like, I got banged out by 2 dudes. I'm like, that's just really gay. See, Gray understands me, right, Gray? No,
I think he's just going to put some mustard on that statement and move on.
No, I mean, I understand he got banged out by 2 dudes. I understand.
Mustard tastes like shit. I don't. It's gross.
Yeah. Now, noise pollution.
You're banging 2
about
dudes
threesomes, though.
I'm just saying, like, literally, have you ever thought that about mayonnaise and putting your fingers in it, and you're thinking like, damn, that's what like a girl's vagina feels like? No, that's just me,
man. No.
You ever thought about putting a hot dog in there too while you're putting in the mayonnaise jar?
No.
No.
You guys never like fantasize about buying a peach and then eating it out at Walmart?
Why are these the random thoughts of an 11-year-old? What is happening?
What is going on here now? Yes.
I'm just saying, hey, Problematic John, you ever had an orgy before?
What constitutes an orgy?
Isn't like 6 people, right?
So I mean, like, if that's your definition, probably no. Then, but
what's the highest number? You had a foursome with women?
I have been with 2 women.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I know how it feels. Yeah,
but you
don't got a lot of kicking, man. I keep telling you that.
Yeah.
Hey man, I pictured Ana de Armas and Cindy Sweeney in my mind, and I pictured eating out Ana de Armas' ass first. Probably tasting all her shit, getting it cleaned out first, Call me tongue master. No?
I mean, to each their own, I'm
just saying, you got to clean out both holes in order to get inside of them. That's how it works. It's easy.
I don't think that's how that works at all.
Yeah.
Not my DualShock, if you're hearing this, I'm a normal person. I'm a professional at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Hold my DualShock. Make sure Katie hears this, just because I want to see her reaction.
If there's a girl that's there, hey, I'm normal.
It's probably Peter that's on there right now, but
I'm a normal person. Gray can vouch for me.
What is normal in 2025?
That's true.
Well, I mean, you got a black guy, a white guy, mustard, and an avatar. So this is pretty normal nowadays.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I guess this is normal. Yeah.
And I denounce.
It's a weird
I
world that we're in. Yeah. Disavow. And all that.
That as well. Also disavow.
Yes.
Well, speaking of movies and television, what do you follow most of the stuff going on now when it comes to like media?
Well, I am on Reality Based, which is a topic of the day show. So, yeah, for the most part,
What do you? What is your strongest suits? Like you into like D&D, which is for nerds, like Star Trek, which is for losers, Harry Potter. What is like your hobby that you had for nerd stuff?
Yu-Gi-Oh for the gay people. Anything?
Yu-Gi-Oh was for chads, sir.
We used to on Sundays we did a show on Will of the Fans channel called Who TF, which is about Doctor Who stuff. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who when it was good. We are
First 5 seasons are great of the new reboot. Yeah, those are great.
We got all the way up to like the Jodie Whittaker stuff, Dr.
Mhm.
Karen, and I have not ever watched any of those episodes. So we have decided that rather than putting me through the torment of having to watch those things, we're just gonna do WTF Live Sunday edition, and maybe comment on the new Disney series from time to time.
You said you're
But
into wrestling. I remember earlier you said you're into WWE,
oh,
right?
sure, yeah. We watch, I watch wrestling from time to time.
What did you like the idea that Netflix bought the rights to WWE?
I mean, it didn't disturb me. I mean, I pirate it no matter what.
Oh no, yeah, allegedly, yeah.
No, allegedly to it. I mean, like I'm like full high sea sailing man, you know. Like I just
You set sail and you never came back. Good lord.
That's right. But like the thing that I really enjoy, that I would like to, especially now that he has passed away, unfortunately, David Lynch, is in many ways kind of like a teacher in my life in terms of philosophy and kind of perspective, and just kind of like so I'm a huge David Lynch fan, and so I want to.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so I'm going to do a show with Dax, most likely. Once he actually gets his whole thing sorted out and I get my thing sorted out, it's going to be called Twin Geeks, and I'm basically going to make him someone who, like, he's uninitiated. He kind of like has an idea about David Lynch, but he hasn't really watched any of it, and so we're going to go through, and I'm gonna take a neophyte, as it were, someone completely new and naive to the situation, and I'm gonna
Speaking of new and naive,
yeah,
MSK. Have you ever heard of David Lynch? If you were to guess what movies David Lynch did, what would you guess? Just take a wild stab. No, don't Google it. Just take a wild stab.
Great.
Yeah.
No. I do know that he did pass away recently. I do know that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It
He's
was
the guy
4
that
days
did-
before he was going to turn 79. Yeah.
Oh, he's the guy that did the original Dune movie.
Yeah.
Right?
He did. Yeah, he did. The
Yeah.
one in the 1980s. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Good for you. It's actually much better than if you ever get the chance, there's a Spice Diver Reddit. It was available on YouTube for the longest. I think it still is. I would definitely suggest watching that. I have a pirated copy of it, obviously, on my Plex server, along with all the other pirated movies that I keep.
Allegedly.
No, allegedly to it. I mean, like, I except I do have an extensive David Lynch fan. I have actually bought those movies. I even actually have like the 1984 version of Dune and the extended cut, which is why I was like, well, I'll just go and I'll get this edit that this guy made called the Spice Diver edit. Because it's like, it's not for sale, it's not anything, it's just it exists, and so that one I totally did pick up so that I could have a copy for myself. But yeah, huge David Lynch fan. There's this thing called Industrial Symphony number 1, Ballad of the Broken Hearted, and it's actually like I have this on DVD. I got it from Germany. And it is a stage play that was performed twice. And it's the bridge piece between Twin Peaks into Wild at Heart. And it's like this weird kind of surreal dream state, transcendental kind of craziness. And Julie Cruz is in there. She's suspended in air, singing. The Man from Another Plane is there. Like it is like kind of like the most insanely David Lynch thing that has ever happened, including all his other movies. But it's like this integral kind of wedge piece that connects to the whole multifaceted state of reality that exists within the David Lynch pantheon of movies and shows. So yeah, that is something that I want to do purely out of the enjoyment, because like we do these shows where we talk about like the terrible state of pop culture today, and you generally spend a good chunk of time just kind of like like agitated or just kind of like a little bit put off. But I love David Lynch's work, and so and now that we're not doing Who TF, I need to have like a good outlet that keeps me upbeat and kind of like, something that's like fun to talk about. And so that's going to be doing like the David Lynch series. And now that he's passed away, I actually put a memorial to David Lynch on the FFS Discord, specifically called Lynchian Vibes. And so like I've got like, like behind the scenes videos. I took the music video scenes from the Twin Peaks Revival series, and I put those on there. So you can just go through and just like watch like, all the various bands that were on Twin Peaks for the Revival series from Showtime a few years ago. I'm constantly going to be adding more stuff in there because, like people just need to know like the actual somebody who was led by their artistic integrity. And I honestly, to me, he is the greatest director of the 20th century and, into the 21st as well, because, he actually never capitulated to, the corporates who wanted him to like, make a movie that was like what they wanted to see, because fuck them, who one of my favorite clips of his was who cares how long the fucking scene is, just what's wrong with you people, and and that was taken from believe a scene in Mulholland Drive or from Twin Peaks Revival. But yeah, he's a great guy. The world needs more people like that actually are led by their passion and their integrity. So yeah,
you mean like
check
me?
out. Well,
definitely a very interesting director and had a bunch of pretty influential films for a lot of people, man. And the last one that I rewatched was actually the Dune one, because I wanted to rewatch them all, like the original one,
Yeah.
and then watch the new one, and then watch the second one. So I watched those, and they actually throw some stuff from like the books that aren't in the two newer movies, like the what are they called, the Flight Navigators? What are the ones that? Yeah. And they're like this weird alien looking like they had actually stuff that's in the books that's not in these new ones, which I thought was interesting. Like he just went for it, which I respect that. But it's like some of their suits look like garbage bags and shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just were.
Well, I mean, like it's really interesting too, because like a lot of his
like
work
the 80s or whatever. So like you had to work with what you could get. So I understand.
Right. But a lot of the stuff that he dabbles in is the surreal nature of the dream state and everything like that. And so like, even though it's telling the story of Frank Herbert's Dune, it's also, going through the same kind of arc that a lot of his other works connect to and things like that. So like, there's this thing in David Lynch's work called The Lodge, right? And this is like, like in Twin Peaks, most people know it as either the White Lodge or the Black Lodge, but it's actually just the Lodge. And the thing that separates whether it's the White Lodge or the Black Lodge is whether when you cross through that threshold, if you go through with an open heart and an open mind, then you will be surrounded by the White Lodge. But if you go in, dwelling in shadow, then your head will be lit on fire and you'll be stuck in the Black Lodge, because that's kind of like the difference between paradise and purgatory states. And the great thing about David Lynch is like my interpretation, my reading on it is unique to my own individual thing, is like it's not about actually giving you a clear-cut definition on any of these things. It's about the mystery, and so like and once you kind of it's like any good mystery, once you've solved it, you don't really have a reason to go back to it. And so like the mystery always needs to be there. And to answer you, Toasty, the new model is not here tonight because I'm still got to do a little bit of tweaking and I got to get my systems running. And this actually is not even a VTuber connected to me. This is just a 1 minute hype reel that I made so that I could actually just kind of like have something here that plays. So
why can't we see your beautiful face? That's the thing. That's why.
I mean, I suppose we could. Let me see. Let me switch cameras and I can do a thing. It won't necessarily be me directly, but I'm not scared.
Hidden John, or what's your name? Yeah, VG.
Yeah.
PWG. Yeah. So, are you John De La Rose or are you John Trent? There's like two
John. I am neither of those. I think they both go. I think they both have H's. I'm John.
Lord, yeah.
Jon.
That's crazy. John's long box name is John too. Fucking hell, man.
I specifically went with the live camera just so eventually, if my shit ever blew up, I would just love to see the comments. because I find that funny as hell to watch people roast other people, and I'm like, I want to get roasted. Like that's when I'll know I made it. When I just get like a bunch of hate, like look at this fucking guy. I'm like,
I mean, I've gotten
I'm hopefully looking forward to it.
But yeah, like give me just a second, and I can actually like we'll do the thing here. Here, let me switch cameras.
Maybe you were secretly black the whole time, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there was a secret to it, you know. But yeah, let's see. Droid cam 3, there we go. All right, cool. Yeah. So this is the problematic white guy.
Okay, so I like the other one better.
Well, you know, I suppose I can go back to it, but so this is John Richards. PWG is the Vroid, right? So that's why it's John Richards, problematic white guy. It's like it's multifaceted, you know, much like David Lynch. So yeah. But yeah, most this image right here freaks a lot of people out because like the shifty eyes, you know, they're like they don't know what to do about it. But yeah, so this is me in real life from I think it's a photo from like 15 years ago, but I don't look too much different from this. So even still, maybe a little bit more gray, but that's about it. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah. But yeah, you want me to go back to PWG now though?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. It's up to you.
All right. I mean, like, it's all the same to me, you know. If you go
ugly
to
and I'm proud. It's like a SpongeBob meme.
I mean, I've been told by quite a few ladies that you know, like, they would gladly sit on my face, you know. Like, I mean,
yeah, I had a lot of girls tell me that too. Yeah, see, I know how you feel, man. Girls just want to sit on your face and just let you lick both holes, you know.
Well, I mean, like, I do have a jaw like a lady's bicycle seat, so you know, like,
I have been known to please women in my lifetime, actually.
I don't know so much about that, but you know, it is good to be aspirational. Well, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, I've been hearing some conflicting things this evening, so you know, like, I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to, like, you know, like, say one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this has been well, I mean, it's I feel I'm happy that you have goals.
Yeah, because I'm aiming to be the woman pleaser. That's what I'm trying to be. See, Gray, he knows me. He knows I please women. So he gets
that's
it.
what you've been aiming for? Wow, dude.
To be a woman pleaser? Yeah, easy.
There's all these people that came here expecting to hear about, like, you know, Sonic and Captain America, and they're just like,
yeah,
what is this? You know,
they got peak quality content, and that's what I'm here for. You know, I'm here to deliver quality entertainment. That's what I was put on this earth to do.
I mean, clearly they came here for the PWG. You know,
true.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be heading out of here in a little bit. We had a great show. Cyfax, he got thoroughly satisfied from being here. You know, he was like, MSK, I understand your wisdom now.
This has been an interesting conversation.
Definitely, as always, I'm just enamored by your fucking brilliance on how to just conduct such a shit show. But okay,
you know, that's the thing is my brain has expanded in so many ways, and I've gained so much knowledge. You heathens and you peons can't possibly comprehend the level of brain knowledge I have now. My brain's expanded in dimensions.
CTE.
Well, I'm glad that I could. You know, drop some education on you and give you a little bit of science. You know, but again, you know, not going to pay child support. You know, but yes. I mean, you're 30 now, so I like to think that you kind of figured out your
own. Telling you, it seems like he might still need it. So I don't know.
Well, you know, I mean, you know, this builds character. It's good. It's good for your personality.
I'm just saying, you
know.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's like a villain character, though, right? Like,
I mean, clearly, like we are in the midst of the villain arc. You know, like this may not be the birth of it, but it's definitely kind of like, you know, the formative years. You know, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, villains are just, by Disney's definition, they're just misunderstood.
Yeah, they were right though. Loki murdered what 1,000 people in a day. Just misunderstood.
Just misunderstood. Yeah.
True. Gray, if you could pour your mustard on me and drip onto my body, it would be great.
Jesus.
I'm good. I'm gonna keep that to myself. You keep your body where you're located.
Yeah, but
everybody should just keep their own fluids.
I don't know who hated that sentence more, me or Gray, or maybe John. I think we all hated that equally.
Did you give a special type of...
My skin started to crawl a little bit.
Gray, do you give a special type of mustard?
Usually chat always wins, but I feel like chat lost on that sentence.
Right?
I think we kind of all did.
Yeah. I'm just pointing out, man.
My life is slightly worse now. It's weird. I can just feel it, in the background.
Oh, gosh. Well, Gray, do you leave your special mustard for your wife?
Of course. Nothing but the fanciest.
That's right. Yeah. Extra spicy.
Yeah. So, you guys are just disgusting degenerates. I can't believe I even associate with you. I might have to, make a Twitter post saying that I have to disassociate
we're the problem.
with you. Yeah.
Oh no. Don't do it.
Guys is patronizing me. Holy shit, man. All right. So we'll start with outros here, and then we'll get along our merry way. We'll cover the rest of the topics on fucking Saturday then.
These kind of topics, nice thing about them is they stay fresh for a few days. You haven't missed out on anything,
Yeah, just like having sex with my wife. She's fresh for a few
Falcon
days.
The Captain Falcon thing is that's not going away for a couple more weeks till it's actually out. So
right.
I'm just pointing out Captain America 4 is going to be making a lot of money at the box office. All these racist bigots will be eating their words.
And My Hero Academia is in the process of becoming a live adaptation, so that's another one you got plenty of time with. Sonic 4 is not out yet, so yeah, clearly all these topics that the only thing that might be something is what are your thoughts on Netflix raising its price? TLDR, it sucks.
MSK is going to be able to really relate to Captain America 4 because there's going to be a bunch of people shitting on a black dude, man. It's going to be crazy.
Oh my god, I can't. It can only get so hard. Stop. Oh my god, black people getting shitted on. Woo! My kind of movie. Yes. All right, Gray, what do you got planned coming up?
Videos eventually. My channel will come back from the dead eventually, but other than that, you can catch me every Thursday on The Thinkers. Go over to That Darn Kidda's channel, YouTube at That Darn Kidda. It's people from 3 different continents, possibly more countries, getting together and disagreeing about everything. I think we're talking about the inauguration day or something tomorrow. So if you want to hear what people from other countries think about it, come on over, argue with us. That's The Thinkers on That Darn Kidda's channel. That's about all I got going on. What about you, John? What you got going on, sir?
For the remainder of the evening, nothing, I hope. I am going to be on Will of Fans, though, in about, let's see, for me, it will be, it'd be 8 a.m. for me. So 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. I will be doing Will of the Fans. We'll go for about 2.5 hours. That will be the start of my Thursday. And then I'm also doing production work for Scooby Pup's podcast, which will be this Saturday. And we do her show at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. I also do, as I said earlier, I do the Weekend Culture on Saturdays early in the morning. That show starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And of course, I would be remiss to not mention Reality Based, the show that I'm on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, all at the same start time, which would be 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And I'm kind of all over the internet. I'm referred to as the man on the internet on Stupinzo's channel whenever I show up there, usually on Sunday evenings around midnight when he goes live. And then I do stuff with Toasty whenever she asks me to pop in and do live streams with her. She was just on Saturday Night Hypnosis last week, so you kind of feel honored that she stopped by and
do stuff with her
came to check
too.
out the gym. Yeah,
In my mind,
Sure. I'm sure that's a lot of people. Other than that, I run my FFS Discord, which like if anybody who has the capacity to do those sorts of things, I'll go ahead and drop a link in the chat again. And whoever is appropriately capable can just copy and paste that and back into the chat so that it can actually get hyperlinked. And anybody is welcome to join. We do a whole bunch of work with YouTube creators there to collaborate. And, I track all these various channels, live streams, it's 265-ish members now in under 5 months. So that's pretty successful, I'm told. Just keeping busy. Production work all the time. Helping Toasty as well. She just got EV Mux installed or got her account started up today. So I'm gonna help her do some stuff, do some production work for her. Probably if I stay up late tonight, I might do some stuff for her. I've got an idea on a piece of music that she wants joined together to a video file. But anyways, this has been interesting. Thank you, for inviting me. It's been a fun show. I will kindly invite you to stop by Reality Based. If you are free on, we do the Wednesday show, the Friday show, and of course,
so you're trying to
Sunday
give me clout. Crazy.
Well, I mean, like if you're interested in kind of coming onto the show, like physically, I mean, as a guest, not like fluid exchange. But like, if you're interested in stopping by and being a part of that, we gladly have you on the show.
You need to differentiate between those things with MSK, or else that's just going to go way
right.
off.
Right. That is why I wanted to make sure that we firmly establish that in the offering of. But yeah, like I say, if you want to join the Discord, I can get a channel tracker set up for you as well. Well, you can DM me about it, But yeah, we do all sorts of interesting stuff, and this has been oddly strange conversation, but hopefully it was entertaining for anybody.
I know how to make quality content. Just my thing,
Clearly.
Well, any day now, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that I could ramble on for a little bit longer, but Syfax, I guess this is where I'll just pass it over to you.
You giving it to a white guy? That's who you get my show.
Well, yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to go see Flight Risk. I'm going to go see it with DA and T. We're going to do an out of theater review, and then there'll be a DA's or a nightcap, probably 10:30, 11 o'clock ish, West Coast time. So, what is that? Like 1 in the morning on the East Coast? It's some bullshit, but it usually gets pretty decent amount of viewers. I might be on hold my DualShock earlier that day. It all depends on my schedule, because I might have to just come home and then jump down to the theater because it's a further theater and I'm used to. And then on Saturday, I'll be back here with MSK for the Saturday shows. Yeah, definitely quality. And then then Sunday will be DA's office, and I'm gonna try and do a couple of videos. People have been recommending me to start doing maybe some stuff that I like. Usually I just do whatever the new movie of the week is, kind of thing. Like I just been kind of keeping up with that just because it's something easy to do. But they're like, hey, just start doing stuff that you actually like and talk about, because not every movie every week is going to be great. So sometimes when it's like consistent topics of like bad movies, that's not great. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can start talking about some other stuff and doing a little bit more videos. Now I got a different setup. I'm trying to fix some stuff this weekend, like my background. That'll be painted. I got a bunch of posters. They're kind of behind me. You can't really see them. It's all dark in here. So I need to get the lighting's going to take a minute, but a bunch of stuff's going to change.
You have the same Death Note and Spider-Man one. I just can't see the other two. I'm pretty sure one of them is a Rippaverse one.
Oh, these ones are the same. So the one in the very corner is Lady Death, which I also have a tattoo of.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the problem with that one in the corner there, and I have a couple of these, they're lenticulars. So even if I get them right, like like if you look at him from different angles, it has like 4 different pictures in him, and like that one is like Venom, Carnage, and Spider-Man all in one. If you walk at a certain angle, you can see all of them. And then I have a Batman one that has like all the 4 main Batman characters, like, and like it's like Batman, Robin, Nightwing, and what's the other one? I can't even remember the other one. Oh, Red Hood. So it has 4 images in one. It's really cool, but it's not going to show up on my camera. So it's like, as much as I want to hang it, and I probably will, I'm going to hang a bunch of the stuff. It's not like you'll be able to see them all the different pictures. Plus I got to get the lighting right. And since this is a room in a warehouse, I got to cover up some of this conduit. Somebody was like, dude, that looks tacky. And I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking warehouse, man. It's not my house, man. So this is just an extra thing I have. This is where I hang out most of the time. So it's convenient, but so that's about it though. I mean, tomorrow will be, like I said, Flight Risk, and then the DA's channel. That's about it for this week. So if you guys want to catch me over there, thanks. My channel's finally up to 125 subscribers after a couple months, so that's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Yeah. Only a few months. Hey, that's good growth.
I think it's like just under 3 months, but I feel like the last 2 months I've started to really actually do more. So I'm like, okay. So not too bad.
This is something that I always suggested too, since people watch more movies beside the Marvel and DC and Disney movies and stuff like that.
I cover a bunch of indie movies. Like I did a top 10 list, and probably like at least 6 of the movies were like independent movies. So
yeah, I think more news coverage on other franchises would be kind of cool too. But the thing with the bigger ones is kind of what everyone generally consumes. When you start getting into the weeds of like other smaller stuff, people may have never even seen those movies.
Well, the other thing with growing your stuff with the YouTube stuff is that you also want to follow what's the next big thing. So like obviously when like Captain America drops, that's going to be a big talking point. And we even looked it up. There's basically no other movies coming out for almost a month, like actually a full-on month. So that movie's going to have like blockbuster status in the theaters for about a month straight. That's the only reason I have a feeling it's like I thought it wouldn't even break 500 million, but because it's going to be the only big movie coming out and basically for a full goddamn month, because everything else is going to be low budget, like throwaway movies. It's the only thing that people will have access to go to see, unless they just really get the bad word of mouth and it's like, fuck it, I'll wait. Like, I guess I'll wait 2 months to see it on streaming or whatever. So there's that.
I think we're just at the point where, there could be other things we can improve on as far as like covering movies and stuff like that. I have to do better too. I've just been busy. I got to make sure I'm structuring my time in a way that I can cover everything that I want. It's really just all it is. Once that happens, then I'm good to go. Honestly, what else did I want to cover for my outro? Well, I've been having so much sex, as you guys know, so it's easy to just,
Liar!
do what I have to do. I would never.
He's got the calluses to prove it.
That's that once he was talking about.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I just now discovered this.
So yeah, MSK is as lucky his house didn't get hit with like any of that fire that came around, man, because his shit would have went up like an inferno with all that baby oil he's been going through. It's just all over the place.
I would never do that. Give me one sec. Oh, fucking hell. This
a little ditty about baby oil, right?
Baby oil. You guys are insane. You guys are crazy.
You're right. You don't want to use that. It cause.
Yeah, this girl wanted me to give her a massage.
Yeah, you don't actually use it.
Yeah, this girl wanted me to massage her, and I was like, you know what? I'm very good with my hands. I'm just kidding, everyone. So, well, that story is true, but I would never lie to you because I'm a fucking genius and I have a 300 IQ. Actually, my brain is processing information so fast I just can't think straight some days.
Yes, I'm sure curling your 5 pound weights, curling your 5 pound weights gives you all that strength you need, right?
I believe you don't think straight.
Yeah, it's like that psychotic reasoning. Well, if you actually saw like every image that passes through your eye, it would drive most people insane, but not you.
Never me. I see everything. I have
everything.
I have the eye.
I got some tabs for that if you ever need to calm down. It's called acid, but no.
Good Lord. Good God. Okay. So as for me, As you guys know, I want to work on putting out consistent content in a shorter time frame, which we are currently doing. I have a lot of videos that we've already did on the show that I have to just basically work on and upload for you guys. I'm going to be putting out more content on my comic book channel, which is about almost at 130 subscribers, actually. So steadily growing over there. I'm going to try and get those other 2 YouTube channels off the ground later on this year at some point. Hopefully, at least the third one, when it's going to cover another topic that I've been wanting to cover for a long time, as far as content that I've originally started doing YouTube with. Hopefully, at some point, I can do that this year. Gonna work on putting out the episodes of the Cloud9 podcast on the podcast platforms, as well as the rest of the Iron Man podcast episodes, and then uploading the rest of this show to the podcast platform as well. So that way, when episodes are done here, I can just download them and then upload them to the podcast platforms where you guys can listen to them on your way to work, or when you're going to the gym, or when you want to watch something at home. I'll be your number one go-to source for entertainment. What else do I have? The Cloud9 podcast, Sundays, Thursdays, because the league season is starting back. It started now. North America is going to start, I think, this week or next week. So every region for League of Legends esports will be in full swing once again. And this show is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And whenever I have Savage Dad back, when he gets back from work, our show's on Tuesdays. But if not, then I now have Laps Comic Fan, and we're going to have our show that is basically the Savage Dad one if he's not here tomorrow, Thursday. We were going to have a Tuesday, but he had to get up for work in the morning early, and I accidentally told him to read something that I didn't have because I actually ordered volume 2 instead of volume 1, and I thought I opened that said book, and it turns out I didn't, so we had to change the book we're going to end up reviewing. We're going to be reviewing Ultimate Invasion by Jonathan Hickman, so we're going to review that one. After that, I got another little comic book review I have planned after that, and then we're going to be doing another big banger. So yeah, we have a lot of content we're going to be doing for you guys this year, so thank you guys for checking out my butthole and eating out my ass. I'm kidding. I'm a genius, and you guys know that, right? No? Good? Cool?
No.
Debatable. Yeah.
So essentially what you guys are saying is I'm white, right?
Well, you're certainly problematic.
See, my name couldn't be problematic black guy. That would come with too many issues. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night.